After marriage, abstinent husband wants it every night. After traveling back in time, I thought it was just a brief romance, but before I could even ponder the taste of it, the door was kicked open. Sister burst into tears, implying that I had stolen her man. Wearing a blue lab coat, veterinarian Yao appeared on the scene. After learning that my stepsister was pregnant and had been reborn, she planned to remarry. She intentionally drugged me, wanting us to make a fatal mistake. In order to confirm that I had stolen her man, my white lotus stepsister dramatically threw herself into the river. She claimed she didn't like my fiancé, yet her whole body clung to him. On their way back, my stepsister's fiancé threatened that since his fiancée was gone, I had to make up for it. For example, by offering myself to him. Just as I was racking my brain trying to refuse, he pushed me against a tree and, his kissing skills were terrible, biting me so hard it hurt. Next time we meet, I definitely need to tell him he should go home and practice more. But what I never expected was that the result of our future provocations would be that Jixingrui pulled me into training right then and there. Only after I admitted that his kissing skills were not bad and quite comfortable, did he finally let me go. Chapter 1, What the Heck, Soul Transmigration. A loud bang echoed through the sky. The sister made her grand entrance. Drunk, Lin Jinyao felt like she was on top of a wave, and if it weren't for her sailing experience, she probably would have been dizzy right now. In her daze, she opened her eyes and saw a handsome face. TSK, look at this rare little thing. You look really good. Come here, sister will take care of you. As she spoke, her little hand reached directly toward his abs. The firmness was incredible. Oh wow, let me touch it once more. In a dream, it doesn't count as a crime, and it doesn't cost a thing. As the saying goes, if there's a bargain, grab it, you fool. Jixingrui, who had been holding back, couldn't endure the touch of her soft, boneless little hand. He felt a flame surge from his feet, spreading throughout his body, almost as if it were going to consume him. Stop moving. Jixingrui's voice was full of restraint, but to Lin Jinyao, it sounded exceptionally pleasant. Where? Here? Instead of stopping, Lin Jinyao grew bolder, her actions becoming even more uninhibited. Though she had no practical experience, as a seasoned code monkey, she had written about lightning striking fire and dragons forming when touched by water. She knew exactly what this felt like. Occasionally, she'd lament how fate was unfair, that she was born at the wrong time. If I had been born 500 years earlier, I would have been a top scholar. If I had been born 1,000 years earlier, I could have been part of a romantic tale. If I had been born 3,000 years earlier, even the turtles would have found me a match. If I were born even earlier, wouldn't Wukong have stopped with his horses? Cough cough, humming a little tune, watching an animated series, and the inspiration struck like a rocket, straight to the top of my head. Do you know who I am? Jixingrui wanted to stop her wandering little hand, but no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't stop her. Little brother. Millimeter. Just as Jixingrui was about to say something, she gently lifted her head and kissed him. Feeling his body stiffen and his mouth shut tightly, Lin Jinyao bit his lip. He flinched in pain, and she took the chance to open his mouth. Then, Lin Jinyao, like someone savoring a strawberry lollipop, couldn't get enough, kissing him to the point where he was dizzy. If you looked closely, you'd see Jixingrui's ears burning bright red, and his fists clenched on the bed, barely holding back and maintaining a slight distance. The main thing was that he was worried he might lose control and accidentally hurt her. Knock knock knock. Just as things were about to escalate, the sound of knocking on the door rang out, progressively getting louder. Jinyao, it's me, hurry and open the door. Lin Jinyao shouted anxiously, as if afraid the people inside couldn't hear her. At this moment, Lin Jinyao suddenly woke from her daze. Looking at the handsome face before her, memories flooded her mind like a movie reel. What the heck, soul transmigration? Please, don't joke with me. I have a book signing event tomorrow. She closed her eyes, silently praying, heavenly spirits, earthly spirits, please show your power. When she opened her eyes again, it was over. Are you okay? Clearly, Jixingrui was a little worried. Lin Jinyao shook her head, and she could hear the noise from outside growing louder, with others arriving. Jinyao is in the room alone, I'm worried something might happen. Lin Jinyao started crying, as if afraid the people inside couldn't hear her. At this point, Lin Jinyao finally snapped back to reality and looked at the handsome face before her. All the memories flooded back to her mind in a rush. What the heck, soul transmigration? Please, no joke. Tomorrow, she still had a new book signing event. She closed her eyes and silently prayed, "Heavenly spirits, earth spirits, all gods, please show your power." When she opened her eyes again, it was too late. "Are you okay?" Jishin Rue seemed concerned. Lin Jinyao shook her head and heard louder noises from outside, as other people joined in. "Jinyao's alone in the room, I'm worried something might happen," Lin Jianrui said anxiously, then started crying loudly. Jinyao, if something happens to you, I won't live." This loud crying woman was the original stepmother. Having entered the family for 10 years, she mistreated her stepdaughter and spoiled her biological daughter, yet she had a good reputation in public as a virtuous wife and mother. To this day, the original father probably had no idea what his biological daughter had been going through. Someone shouted to break down the door, and then they heard a loud bang, thud, the wooden door crashed down, and a group of people rushed in. "My Jinyao!" Stepmother Yang Caifeng immediately collapsed on the ground, wailing loudly. "Mom!" Lin Qianrui kicked her biological mother, signaling her to get up. "Don't touch me. If something happens to Jinyao, I might as well die." "Then you can go die." Lin Jinyao walked up to her, speaking mockingly, which made Yang Caifeng forget about crying. Are you human or a ghost?" Yang Caifeng asked in shock. "Your grandfather." Lin Jinyao, annoyed by Yang Caifeng's actions, snapped back. Yang Caifeng froze. Was this still the quiet, obedient stepdaughter who never said a word? Lin Qianrui was also stunned. When they rushed in, there were no signs of passionate, heart-throbbing actions. In fact, the two of them were dressed normally, and Lin Jinyao was even wearing a blue knee-length robe, which felt strangely familiar. This wasn't what she had expected at all. "Why are you two in the same room? You're a young girl. If this gets out, you'll ruin your reputation." Yang Caifeng was the kind of person who loved to stir up trouble, always pretending to be virtuous in front of others. "Yang auntie, I was just checking seasoned brother's pulse. Why are you making such a fuss?" The original protagonist had never called Yang Caifeng mom but referred to her as Yang auntie. Ji Xinrui, looking at Lin Jinyao standing among the crowd, showed no fear. Instead, he seemed determined to face the situation head-on. He had never intended to run away from responsibility. After all, although they hadn't gone all the way, they had still gone through the necessary steps. But she had already figured out how to deal with it, and all he could do was cooperate. Checking his pulse? When did you become a doctor? Why didn't I know about this? Yang Caifeng was suspicious and thought that Lin Jinyao was just making excuses to cover her tracks. If she didn't deal with this now, Lin Jinyao would become a future threat. She had to make sure to take care of it today, no turning back. "Mom," Jinyao was silent in the room earlier. "You're just being hasty." Lin Qianrui, worried about her real mother, rushed forward to support her. "I never thought this small village would have such a drama-filled White Lotus. How interesting. A new topic idea. This works." Chapter 2, This Face, This Body, Eyeing It, Satisfied. Lin Qianrui watched the situation unfold, and it was completely opposite to what she had expected. Thinking back to everything she had gone through, she made a resolution: she would never become a widow again. That's right, Lin Qianrui was reborn. In her previous life, she had drugged Ji Xingrui in order to marry him, intending to make him her husband when he was caught off guard. To her surprise, even after taking the drug, he remained clear-headed. When he tried to escape, Lin Qianrui tore her own clothes, messed up her hair, and slapped herself hard a few times. Then, she appeared in front of everyone, claiming she was forced. Despite this, Ji Xingrui refused to marry her, even preferring to go to jail. Only when his mother was critically ill did she threaten not to undergo surgery unless he agreed to marry her, which finally made him relent. She thought their marriage would be sweet and happy. But in reality, he was always away on missions or on his way to one. Every month, half of his allowance was sent to her, but coming home was not in his dictionary. She spent 5 years in a marriage, living a half-life, muddling through. Meanwhile, Lin Jinyao married her childhood fiancé, worked in a greenhouse, and ran a poultry, duck, and pig farm. The business was booming, and she made a fortune, which made others envy her. On their way to divorce Ji Xinrui, Lin Qianrui was in a car accident. She even signed the surgery consent form herself, but never made it off the operating table. Perhaps it was dissatisfaction, or perhaps regret. When she opened her eyes again, she was back on the day she drugged Ji Xinrui. Determined not to repeat the tragedy of her past life, she immediately decided to swap places with Lin Jinyao. Could it be that she bought the wrong medicine? No, she had bought it from Dr. Wang in the neighboring village in her previous life. But seeing the two of them still in a normal state, she couldn't have made a mistake with the medicine, could she? She was too focused on these thoughts to notice that both Lin Jinyao and Ji Xinrui had needles in their wrists, which kept them awake and alert. Jinyao, no matter what, you and Ji Xinrui are alone together in a room. I can't accept that. Lin Xinrui said, struggling. So what? Lin Jinyao had already guessed she wouldn't give up easily, but she wasn't in a hurry. She was curious to see what tricks Lin Xinrui would try. Although I have feelings for Ji Xinrui, you are my sister, and I must let go for your sake. Lin Xinrui said dramatically, looking as if they had already betrayed her, forcing her to accept this situation. Upon hearing this, Ji Xinrui furrowed his brows. They had only met briefly. Feelings? He couldn't agree with that at all. If it weren't for this return, he probably wouldn't have recognized her on the road. So, you have feelings for Ji Xinrui? Lin Jinyao asked, raising an eyebrow. Don't worry, now that it's like this, I won't be an obstacle to you, Lin Xinrui said, secretly pleased that Lin Jinyao had followed her lead. Lin Jinyao saw through her intentions but wasn't fazed. However, her biological mother was another story. When she heard Lin Xinrui offer Ji Xinrui, she reached over and pinched her arm hard. Lin Xinrui winced and pulled away. Yang Caifan, her stepmother, was about to say something, but Lin Jinyao stopped her with a look. Then how come I heard you and Wu Haixing? Lin Jinyao asked with a smirk. There's nothing between us. I like Ji Xinrui. I barely know Wu Haixing, and the only time he asked my opinion was when he wanted to buy you a gift, Lin Xinrui quickly denied, cutting off any further discussion. Really don't like him? Lin Jinyao asked again. Of course not, Lin Xinrui insisted, though internally, she never expected this contradiction would come back to haunt her the next day. Jinyao, you're my sister. As long as you like him, I won't compete with you for him. Lin Xinrui continued, playing the innocent victim. The people who came rushing in with her began to murmur among themselves. Clearly, Lin Jinyao had gone too far. A little playful teasing was one thing, but now she was trying to steal her sister's fiancé. It was truly embarrassing. At the beginning, our families agreed that Lin Jinyao was my match, Ji Xinrui said, speaking up amidst the gossip. It was Aunt Yang who changed the engagement to Lin Xinrui, crying and begging to switch. I've only met Lin Xinrui briefly. I never agreed to an engagement. What? This revelation caused an uproar. No engagement. For the past 2 years, Yang Caifan had been making it known everywhere that they were engaged. Yang Caifan was now panicked, realizing that her carefully concealed secret was now exposed. Lin Jinyao was also confused. The arranged match was supposed to be with the original host. The original host was engaged, and as for Wu Haixing, he was just a flirt hitting on girls in every village and creating the illusion of being a romantic prince. Although the original host was gentle, she had strong principles and kept her distance from Wu Haixing. But because he was overly persistent, some people misunderstood and spread rumors. Now that the facts were clear, the situation could be resolved. After all, Ji Xinrui's looks and body well, she was more than satisfied. People have two faces. We clearly aren't as close as you claim, but feel free to say whatever you want, Yang Caifan said, now trapped with no good explanation, clinging to her narrative that it was their fault. As for the engagement, in her eyes, it didn't matter. The engagement between him and her daughter had been the talk of the town for 2 years, and it wasn't something that could be easily disproven with a few words. People tend to have preconceived notions. Now that Ji Xinrui had a new interest, she was sure that even if the engagement didn't work out, she could still demand compensation. Where is the marriage certificate? Aunt Yang, show it to us, Lin Jinyao demanded, knowing that this was her chance to seal the deal. What marriage certificate? He hasn't been home for 2 years. We didn't get the chance to write it. Yang Caifan boasted, thinking she had found a perfect excuse. Hearing this, Ji Xinrui finally relaxed. Because the marriage certificate existed, and his name was already written on it. Ji Xinrui, you and my sister can get along. I'm fine with it, Lin Qianrui said before covering her face and running out. Before Yang Siphon could argue further, a voice shouted from outside, "Someone jumped into the river." "Siphon, hurry, go see." Qianrui jumped into the river. "If anything happens to my daughter, I swear I'll haunt you as a ghost." Yang Siphon rushed out, but after a few steps, she turned back to say a few harsh words before running out again. Chapter 3: Can a veterinarian take a pulse? As Yang Siphon rushed out, those who had been watching the commotion followed suit. By now, they could roughly judge who was right and who was wrong in their own minds. Furthermore, since Ji Xingrui had come back home to recuperate and given his position, they had no reason to doubt his credibility. When Lin Jinyao and Ji Xingrui arrived by the riverbank, they saw Lin Qianrui's clothes sticking to her body, and nearby, Wu Haixing was turning his face away, not daring to look any further. But just because he wasn't looking didn't mean others weren't. Several unmarried men were secretly eyeing her, while married men were blatantly staring, but any wives nearby immediately slapped their husbands, making them blind with a single strike. "Damn it, you!" Yang Siphon wanted to say something, but seeing her daughter's aggrieved expression, she heartlessly took off her outer jacket and draped it over her. No matter what, covering her up was the most important thing. As soon as Yang Siphon got close, Wu Haixing instinctively stepped back 2 paces. His gaze then fell on Lin Jinyao. His look toward her was far from innocent. TCH, this was the original host. Did he really like her? Were they secretly seeing each other? Had they been sneaking around? Lin Jinyao couldn't think of anything scandalous at all, and she wondered if the original host's memories were incomplete. The thought made her feel uneasy. Lin Qianrui was about to speak, but when her eyes met Lin Jinyao's teasing gaze, she chose to shut her mouth. Then, her eyes closed, and she fainted. Qianrui. Yang Siphon was genuinely worried about her daughter, who had fainted and caused her to lose all composure. "I'll take a look." Lin Jinyao stepped forward. Yang Siphon, probably too panicked, obediently listened, forgetting that Lin Jinyao didn't exactly know how to treat people. After checking Lin Qianrui's pulse, Lin Jinyao did indeed notice something unusual. Feigning unconsciousness was one thing, but she was pregnant. Whose child was it? Lin Qianrui never believed that Lin Jinyao could have medical skills, so she wasn't panicked. Sticking to the principle of "a dead pig is not afraid of boiling water," she played it all the way through. She just caught a chill. She'll be fine after some rest. "You take her back." Lin Jinyao called over Wu Haixing, who seemed like he wished he could shrink into nothing. "I can't do it. I only helped save her. Now that she's on the shore, I can't touch her anymore. Men and women should not have physical contact." Wu Haixing immediately refused. If he touched her again, what if they blamed him? "Haixing, you've already held her, touched her. You're responsible now," someone watching the drama shouted. This comment was followed by several people agreeing, but Wu Haixing refused, so in the end, several women helped and carried Lin Qianrui back home. Lin Jinyao had originally planned to go home and rest, since she had been through so many challenges already. But then, she thought that the matters between the two of them still needed resolution, so she went to a small forest nearby. The place was quiet, usually with no one around, perfect for a conversation. "When did you learn medicine?" Ji Xinrui asked, curious. I learned it from my grandfather." Realizing his suspicion, Lin Jinyao casually explained, as if it was no big deal. "But I remember that Grandpa Wei is a veterinarian." That was careless. This guy was sharper than she thought. It was clear she couldn't just brush things off with him. "Do veterinarians know how to take pulses?" Ji Xinrui asked again, pressing the matter. "What's the big deal? It's just a different method. Besides, what's the difference between Lin Qianrui and an animal? The only difference is the number of legs." Lin Jinyao's explanation, though ridiculous, seemed to convince him. So, when she had mentioned earlier that she was going to treat his leg, it was probably just an offhand remark to appease everyone. Seeing him still staring at her, Lin Jinyao felt a little nervous. Was he going to figure it out? If he did, would he lock her up for research? Just thinking about it gave her chills. Cold. No. She couldn't tell him she was scared by her own imagination. "Lin Jinyao, about what happened earlier." "GGE, that was just an emergency. We're both adults, so let us just pretend it never happened," Lin Jinyao said after thinking for a moment. Although they had nothing actually happened between them. Upon hearing her, Ji Xingrui was about to say something, but his words got stuck in his throat. Nothing happened. How could that be? Gge, what are you doing? Lin Jinyao said, looking up at him as he slowly walked toward her. When her back hit a tree, she realized there was nowhere left to retreat. She had written about wall bangs, door bangs, but this tree bang was a new experience. Lin Jinyao. You say? At this point, Lin Jinyao sounded a little nervous, almost like a scared kitten. His gaze was deep, almost magnetic, and she couldn't look away. You took away my fiancé. Aren't you going to make it up to me? Ji Xingrui said with a smirk, his voice low and almost teasing. Human trafficking is a crime, Lin Jinyao blurted out without thinking, which immediately stunned Ji Xingrui. He wasn't implying that at all. Cough, cough, what I mean is, I'm young and inexperienced. I'm not good at matchmaking and setting people up. Seeing her attempt to explain herself, Ji Xingrui realized she understood but was pretending to be confused. Before she could continue arguing, Ji Xingrui lowered his head and kissed her. Lin Jinyao was scared out of her wits, pushing against him with both hands, but he immediately grabbed both her wrists and wrapped them around his neck, holding her in place. His movements were forceful, leaving her no chance to resist. Just as she thought she was going to suffocate, he reluctantly pulled away and took a step back. She could see the veins popping on his forehead, indicating he was also holding himself back. We're even now, he said, turning around and walking away briskly. Leaving her alone in the wind, completely disoriented. Even? For some reason, those two words made her think back to what had happened earlier in the room. Okay, fine, she was the one who initiated it, so it wasn't too unreasonable for him to kiss her back. But his kissing technique wasn't great, and it left her sore. If they met again, she would definitely tell him to practice more at home. But she never expected that, in the future, the result of her teasing would be that Ji Xingrui would put her through a training session until she admitted his kissing technique was actually quite good, and only then would he let her off. At that moment, Ji Xingrui had returned home, poured himself a basin of cold water, and began to wash up. Chapter 4, a basin of foot wash water falling from the sky. After parting ways with Ji Xingrui, Lin Jinyao went straight home. Usually, Lin Jinyao and her lazy mother didn't lift a finger to help around the house. Even if something like a soy sauce bottle tipped over, they wouldn't be the ones to pick it up. The moment Lin Jinyao entered the house, she overheard her mother and sister whispering in the room. Of course, their voices weren't exactly quiet. They thought Lin Jinyao wouldn't be home so soon. Inside the room, Yang Caifeng was poking Lin Jinyue's head with her finger, scolding her. Why on earth did I give birth to such an idiot like you? The Ji family's life is much better than the Wu family's, and yet you had to get involved with that brat. Now look at you, lost the watermelon and picked up sesame seeds. Mom, you don't understand, Haixing is a promising young man. Promising young man? The term didn't even exist back then. Promising my foot? He's all show with no substance. Just the two of you, Lin Jinyao, and you treating him like a treasure. Yang Caifeng didn't care about what her daughter was saying. Forget promising, let us see if you can get him to work as a laborer in the city. Lin Jinyao couldn't figure out where the ill-fated relationship between the original body and Wu Haixing had even started. Mom, you don't understand. Haixing will definitely make it big in the future, Lin Jinyao said, brushing off the conversation. Yang Caifeng felt like her daughter was completely bewitched. You're so foolish. Don't forget, there were so many people present today. You said you didn't like Wu Haixing, but look at you now. Watching her daughter fall into this mess, Yang Caifeng felt her head was about to explode. Is this really my own daughter? It's just temporary. Once Lin Jinyao gets married, who will even remember this? Lin Jinyao said nonchalantly, but deep down, she was panicking. She could wait, but her body couldn't wait much longer. Thinking of how Wu Haixing had been so cautious by the river, she felt uncomfortable. Hearing no noise from inside anymore, Lin Jinyao went to the kitchen to cook. It had been a long, exhausting day. Normally, the rice, flour, and oil in the kitchen were locked up by Yang Caifeng, but today, she must have been too hurried to lock them away properly. So Lin Jinyao didn't hesitate to cook with pork fat, making fried eggs and a flatbread. It was enough to eat. Yang Siphon smelled the aroma coming from the kitchen, but she didn't think much of it. She lay on the kang, waiting for Lin Jinyao to call her for dinner. Lin Qianrui, unable to sit still, wanted to check on the situation but was stopped by Yang Siphon. What are you going for? Are you going to help her stoke the fire? As soon as Lin Qianrui heard the word work, she stopped herself. By the time Lin Fengnian came home to work, the two of them hadn't eaten yet. Where is everyone? It's this late, and no one has made dinner? Lin Fengnian was always quick with his words, so he was used to coming home and having food served immediately. After washing his face and hands, he sat down at the dinner table, only to find it empty, not a single dish in sight. He yelled for his wife, "Where's the food?" Yang Siphon, still lying on the kang in Lin Qianrui's room, quickly got up, put on her shoes, and rushed into the room. Upon seeing the empty table and the lingering scent of food, she turned around and ran to the kitchen. She saw that the pots were all washed clean, and without thinking, she slapped her thigh. Didn't he even feel the pain? Hurry up and cook. Do you want me to starve to death? Lin Fengnian wasn't he skilled at much, but when it came to scolding, his words never repeated for 3 days. The villagers all knew about his temper. He could make an old woman lose her mind. Even a gossiping old woman couldn't he outswear him. Lin Jinyao, at this time, had eaten and was cleaning her room. It wasn't he that she didn't want to go for a walk, but right now, avoiding trouble seemed like the best choice. Old Lin, why are you so impatient? It's my fault. I thought Jinyao had cooked, but I was lazy and didn't check, Yang Siphon explained, trying to cover up, and pushed Lin Jinyao forward. She almost pointed at Lin Fengnian's nose, ready to tell him, your daughter didn't even set aside a portion for you. Hurry up and cook. Lin Fengnian said, and then, without saying much more, ordered her to cook. Yang Siphon hurriedly nodded, all right, you go wait outside. I'll be quick. Even though Yang Siphon always talked as if she knew everything, the truth was, she couldn't do much. She made a wild vegetable soup and corn pancakes. Luckily, Lin Fengnian wasn't picky and just needed to be fed. Lin Qianrui, on the other hand, found the pancakes and soup hard to swallow. After eating half a pancake, she went back to her room to rest. Old Lin. What? Old Lin, I'm sorry, Wu Yang Siphon's crying was just loud enough to be heard by Lin Jinyao in her room. But she didn't plan to go out and explain. After all, despite the fact that her biological father didn't show much affection for her on the surface, he had always been good to her in secret. During the winter when there wasn't much work to be done in the fields, Lin Fengnian would take her hunting in the mountains. They'd eat meat on the mountain and then return home, leaving nothing for the two women at home. Yang Siphon, still wiping her tears, explained the whole situation while carefully watching Lin Fengnian's reaction. It said that remarried couples are always filled with suspicion. They were the typical example. I'll ask Jinyao about this later. Lin Fengnian's face darkened, and his tone became impatient. It was obvious he wasn't in a good mood. Seeing this, Yang Siphon thought he was finally going to stand up for their family. After eating, Lin Fengnian knocked on Lin Jinyao's door. Yang Siphon, still wiping the dishes, secretly eavesdropped in the corner. Just as she crouched down to find a good position, a basin of foot wash water fell from the sky right on top of her from head to toe, with not a drop wasted. Yang aunt, what are you doing here? The culprit was standing in front of her with an apologetic expression. Yang Siphon was about to explode, but then she saw Lin Fengnian peek out from behind. What are you doing here? Lin Fengnian also deliberately cooperated with Lin Jinyao, pretending to scold her. Ayo, my foot was numb, and I thought I'd just lean against the wall for a bit. What's with this water? Yang aunt, I'm sorry. It's foot wash water. I didn't know you were here. If I had known, I would use a clean basin. Lin Jinyao said, her eyes gleaming with amusement. Old Lin Yang Siphon couldn't hold it in anymore. This damn girl was getting more and more out of hand. Lin Fengnian, his ears pierced by her sharp voice, instinctively poked his pinky finger into his ear. Thankfully, he wasn't deaf. You're an adult, don't argue with a child. I'm done for. Yang Siphon saw the protective look Lin Fengnian had for his daughter and sat on the floor, banging her thighs and crying out. Her cries gathered neighbors and passers-by to watch the spectacle. Chapter 5 If the enemy doesn't move, I will move first. Yang Siphon didn't want to think of anything else at this time. she just wanted to make a big deal out of it. She was splashed with foot-washing water, who could pretend nothing happened. Lin Qianrui, who originally didn't want to get involved, heard that her mother had attracted so many people to watch, so she could only walk out of the room. "Mom, are you okay?" She was choking while speaking, and I thought that both mother and daughter were bullied. "Siphon, what kind of grievance have you suffered? Why don't you tell everyone, so that we can help you?" Aunt Nyo next door, who likes to watch the fun, usually comes to eat and drink, or likes to gossip with Yang Siphon. Yang Siphon likes to chat with her and says she is friendly. To put it bluntly, she just likes Aunt Nyo to flatter her. Lin Qianrui really wants her to stop making trouble, but it's no use. A crazy mother doesn't recognize her relatives. "Aunt Nyo, you don't know that I'm busy with all the big and small things at home, and it's thankless. If I'm a little unhappy, I'll serve her with foot-washing water." Her words, coupled with her wet appearance at this time, naturally made people present understand. No wonder they made a scene. Who wouldn't make a scene, being splashed with foot-washing water? Just thinking about it makes me feel sick. Lin Qianrui, who was originally disgusted, subconsciously stepped back halfway when she saw this. It's not that she is unfilial, it's really a bit disgusting and nauseating. "Jin Yao, this is your fault. How your stepmother treats you is obvious to all of us. It's okay if you don't appreciate it, but you splashed her with foot-washing water, which is really too much." Aunt Nyo claimed to be a fair princess and said a few words for her old sister. "Aunt Nyo, I was just too lazy to pour the water, so I thought of pouring it out of the window. I didn't know Aunt Yang was squatting under my wall. You know, I definitely wouldn't splash it." Lin Jinyao explained a little aggrieved. When everyone heard this, who should they believe? However, some people said that Yang Siphon deserved to be splashed, so they talked about what happened today. When Lin Fengnian heard this, although these people's words must have been watered, no matter what, his daughter must have been wronged. Yang Siphon saw that his face was getting uglier, and her heart skipped a beat, and a strong sense of uneasiness surged in her heart. Forget it, after all, it's hard for a stepmother. Yang Siphon just wanted to stand up with the help of her daughter's arm, but when she raised her hand, she found it empty. Turning around, she saw Lin Qianrui at least 1 meter away from her. Seeing that she disliked herself so much, Yang Siphon would be lying if she said she wasn't sad. But she could only comfort herself in her heart. My biological child, my biological child. I have to admit that Yang Siphon is also very strong-willed. Don't, Siphon, no one cares, I'll make the decision for you. Aunt Nyo heard this and thought that this was a chance to take advantage. These are just trivial matters at home, everyone should just go away and go home. Yang Siphon didn't want to continue making trouble, because she couldn't take advantage of anything, and it would make her man even angrier. So, she quickly closed the door, and everyone went back without any fun. Aunt Nyo took advantage of this moment to slip in, and then followed Yang Siphon back to the room to change clothes. Lin Qianrui saw that she was no longer needed, so she went back to lie down. Lin Fengnian sat on the stool, and for a moment, he didn't know where to start. "Nan, I'm sorry for you." Lin Fengnian's tone was full of guilt, especially when he looked at him. The sadness was even greater. "Dad, it's okay. Nothing happened to me. Brother Li is a gentleman. He didn't do anything. There's nothing wrong between us." Seeing her father's expression, Lin Jinyao felt a little sad. She knew that this was caused by the residual feelings of the original owner. Over the years, father and daughter depended on each other and had a deep emotional bond. Even if she thought it was nothing, the original owner's heart would still be sad. "Dad is useless. It is said that you should marry a virtuous wife. Dad is incompetent. I thought I could marry someone who could take good care of you. As a result, alas." At this point, Lin Fengnian couldn't help but sigh. "Dad, don't belittle yourself. You are already very good. For a man from a bank who has no ability, in Lin Jinya's view, he has really tried very hard. Try to keep yourself alive, keep your daughter alive, and live hard. Life, it's easy to be born, it's easy to live, but it's not easy to live. You don't need to care about the Ji family, let alone pay attention to it. Dad will handle it." Lin Fengnian felt that the interpersonal relationships in the Ji family were more complicated, and he didn't want his daughter to jump into the fire pit. "Dad." Hearing his words, Lin Jinya's eyes were red. "How long has it been since I felt supported by someone? I have always been alone. When I encounter problems, there is only one word: bear it. I can't bear it anymore, but I still have to bear it. Because no one can empathize with me, and no one is willing to lend a hand. Fortunately, God rewards hard work. While she has a skill, she can also support herself, which makes her very satisfied. Now, she has a family in this strange world. This feeling is really subtle. Listen to Dad. In the end, Lin Fengnian made the final decision and made the decision directly. At night, Lin Fengnian lay on the kang, and Yang Saifeng beside him tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Because he didn't say a word to her since he returned to the room, something was wrong. Old Lin. If the enemy doesn't move, I will move first. Seeing that Lin Fengnian had no intention of speaking first, Yang Saifeng chose to take the initiative and grabbed his vital point. Then he heard him take a breath. Fuck, you old woman, you are so old, why are you so coquettish? Although it was unpleasant to hear, the action of his hand was very honest. He turned over and pressed the other person under him. During this period, Yang Saifeng wanted to talk to him about Lin Jinyao, but before she could finish the preparation, the person on her body finished the fight. How come the time is getting shorter and shorter? Yang Saifeng was a little dissatisfied with this. You old woman, there are so many farm works these days, and there are still plowing fields when you come back at night. Do you want to tire me to death? The landlord's cows are not so tired. Yang Saifeng didn't need to complain at all. Lin Fengnian complained first. I don't know if he was making excuses for his abnormal fighting power, or if he really had complaints about her. Anyway, in Yang Saifeng's opinion, he was happy, but she was not. This was the most uncomfortable. She instantly forgot to talk to her about Lin Jinya's affairs, and also forgot to find out what he was thinking. Until the next morning, when she got up, she found that the old man had already gone out, and then she remembered that she still had something important to ask him. Chapter 6. It's really not advisable to go into the woods all the time. Father Lin went to work early in the morning, and Lin Jinyao made breakfast and sent it directly to the field. The father and son sat directly in the field and ate the scallion pancakes and egg soup she baked. Nan, next time you can eat this fine grain yourself, Dad doesn't like it. After Lin Fengnian said this, Lin Jinyao thought of their favorite lie of parents: maybe they don't like it, and try to save it for their children. Dad, I will work hard to make money and support you. You should eat, don't be reluctant. Health is the capital of revolution. Only when you are healthy can you make money. Lin Jinyao felt that since she had traveled through time, she must not dig for food in the fields. It's not that digging for food in the fields is not advisable, it's really more cost-effective to do business. What's more, in today's society, if there is a good development opportunity, you can do it. A well-off life is only the minimum configuration. Okay, my daughter is the most capable. It would be great if your mother could see you grow up. Lin Fengnian thought of Lin Jinya's mother through Lin Jinya's face. She was a gentle and kind woman, completely different from Yang Saifeng. Seeing him recalling the past with a slightly sad expression, she felt a little sour in her heart. On their way back, she was pulled into the grove by Ji Xingrui. Brother Ji, it's really not advisable to go into the grove all the time. Alas, reputation is too important these days. It's mainly because we're on the street, I'm afraid it will have a bad influence on you. Ji Xingrui explained awkwardly, what do you think about the relationship between us? Aren't we even now? Thinking of what he said that day, she wanted to pretend to be dumbfounded. I'm talking about the kiss between you and me, not anything else. I have to be responsible for you as we live in the same room. Ji Xingrui knew that the other party wanted to avoid this topic, but he brought it up directly. My father doesn't agree with our relationship, and I also think that your decision is too impulsive and you need to think twice. Lin Jinyao felt that she still had to say it tactfully. After all, there was indeed a big gap between them. Hearing that Lin Fengnian didn't agree, Ji Xingrui frowned. At the beginning, he was very happy to accept this marriage, why did he regret it now? And I think that marriage should at least have an emotional foundation, otherwise life will be too boring. Lin Jinyao wanted to persuade him to give up this idea in her own way. As a result, when he heard her excuse, he said frankly that love can grow over time. Why did I think of my abdominal muscles and firm muscles on that day when I heard the words, get angry for a long time? I'm off topic. I can't let my imagination run wild. My dad doesn't agree. There's no way. Seeing that I can't make sense, I can only use my father to block it. You mean if your dad agrees, you will agree? Yeah. Thinking of my father's firm opposition last night, I shouldn't betray him. I decisively pushed the matter to my father. Okay, wait for my news. Ji Xingrui agreed, which made Lin Jinyao feel relieved. When the two wanted to leave, they heard a rustling sound not far away. They looked at each other and walked over quietly out of curiosity. As soon as they got closer, they heard Lin Qianrui's voice, Haishan, I am now. Can't you give me a name? Lin Qianrui's voice was full of grievances, but in Lin Jinyao's view, this was all her own fault. Qianrui, you know, I like Jinyao. I was drunk that day. I'm sorry. Wu Haishan's voice was mixed with pain and helplessness. It seemed to show that he was loyal and not a scumbag. However, if he didn't hold Lin Qianrui and said these words, it might be more convincing. Haishan, I know you have ambitions and ideals, and I will do my best to cooperate with you. My mother said that if I get married, I will give me 200 yuan as a dowry. Lin Qianrui didn't notice that Wu Haishan's eyes lit up when she said 200 yuan. Qianrui, I know you are kind-hearted. In the end, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have provoked you. At this point, Wu Haishan was full of guilt. The two of them talked to each other as if no one was around. Indeed, they thought they were alone. Seeing this scene, Ji Xingrui subconsciously glanced at the girl next to him, thinking that she might be sad or have other emotions. However, after looking at her for a long time, he didn't feel unhappy at all. Do you really dislike him? Am I blind? Comrade Ji Xingrui, you are questioning my taste, which is not good. I don't like it. Lin Jinyao said bluntly. The two walked out of the grove, and Ji Xingrui escorted her home at a distance, and then went to the field to find Lin Fengnian. The moment he saw Ji Xingrui, Lin Fengnian knew what he was here for. But he ignored him and continued to work on his own. Ji Xingrui greeted him and was not vague. Seeing a hoe at the field, he took off his coat and started working directly. Seeing this, Lin Fengnian had no intention of stopping him and let him do it. Today he took a break and smoked a pack of cigarettes. Watching him sweating in the field, his movements were neat and tidy. After all, he was young, and he needed to do a day's work, but he finished it in half a day. Uncle Lin, Nan is my only daughter. I don't want her to marry into your family. Your family is complicated. If she gets married, she will have to serve your whole family. I can't bear it. Lin Fengnian knew what he wanted to say and said it before him. He did a good job, but we can only see his perseverance, patience and action. Nothing else can be seen for the time being. Uncle Lin, our family has been divided at the beginning of the year. Hearing his words, Ji Xingrui also knew what he was worried about. At this time, he was extremely fortunate that the family had been divided at the beginning of the year. Divided? Lin Fengnian really didn't know this. Well, my father said that when a tree grows big, it will branch out, and when the sons grow up, they will divide the family. The old couple will not follow anyone. After my brother and I get married, the sons will each give some pension money. At this time, Ji Xingrui thought of his father's insistence that the family must be divided, although he didn't know what happened when he was not at home. But the things that can make him so angry must not be trivial. If possible, he also wants Lin Jinyao to avoid all kinds of difficulties after marriage. Your father is very wise, but I don't want to do that either. Although Lin Fengnian agreed with Ji's father's move to split the family, he was still unwilling to give in. My rank allows me to apply for military service, so you don't have to worry about the problem of living apart after marriage. This time, Ji Daikangming took the initiative to bring it up. Just when he thought that all the problems Lin Fengnian was considering could be solved, a problem that he couldn't solve appeared. Chapter 7 Take the path of green tea and leave green tea with nowhere to go. That is, Lin Fengnian doesn't want his daughter to be too far away, but he can't follow her to join the army. So, the first person who is in trouble now is himself, not the little girl Lin Jinyao. You can't retire by yourself, right? Lin Fengnian returned home in a good mood, while Ji Xingrui was a little unhappy. When he got home, his mother had already prepared the meal. Because he and his younger brother Ji Weiman were not married yet, he paid the money and could still eat with the old couple. Even if the first and second wives had opinions about this, they could only keep it in their hearts. After all, if they said it out, not only would they be hurt, but they would also be easily scolded. Ji's mother's fighting ability has been great since she was young, and now she can deal with 2 daughters-in-law without any problem. Her temper is that when she can take action, she tries not to quarrel. Old third, when you come back this time, settle the marriage. During the meal, Ji's mother mentioned Ji Xingrui's marriage. As soon as she finished speaking, Ji's father kicked his wife's feet from under the table, signaling her to stop talking. Besides, the third son should put down his chopsticks and stop eating. Ji's mother glared at her husband, signaling him not to meddle in other people's business. Seeing this, Ji's father could only give Ji Xingrui a helpless look. Mom, I'll decide before I leave. Since he already has a goal, he must attack quickly and take it down. Third brother, I'm not nagging you. At your age, people of the same age as you in the village can help cut grass and feed pigs. Wait, you said decide. Ji's mother realized that he didn't prevaricate her, but said that he wanted to decide. Oh, my old mother. She originally wanted to say the 3 words, God, but she changed it to old mother. No one usually cares about Ji's mother with this catchphrase. Only when Ji Xingrui is at home, she will say 1 or 2 words, and she will change her words in front of Ji Xingrui. Old third, are you planning to marry the daughter of the Lin family? Ji's father thought of their engagement with the Lin family and asked. Brother third, are you crazy? That Lin Qianrui is not a good person. I have seen her several times. She is very close to Wu Haixin. When Ji Weimin heard that his brother was going to settle down, he said all the words that he had been planning to say. It's not her, it's Lin Jinyao. Ji Xingrui said this, and the other 3 were a little shocked. Old third, although you are also a cadre in the army, I tell you, we can't use power to oppress people. Ji's mother is a person who understands the big picture and is more afraid of her son making mistakes. That's right, you can cancel the engagement, but you can't change your wife, otherwise, I will break your dog legs. Father Ji rarely hesitated. Yeah. Ji Weimin knew his position very well. He couldn't beat him, and he didn't have the favor of his brother third, so he just echoed his parents and nodded. Seeing their righteous words, Ji Xingrui didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What are you thinking? I found out these 2 days that Lin Qianrui and Wu Haixin are together. And we originally decided to marry the daughter of the Lin family, but we didn't say it was Lin Qianrui. What's more, she just changed her surname, and she is not the daughter of the Lin family by blood. I have nothing to do with her. Ji Xingrui said nonsense seriously. The key is that the 3 people opposite nodded in agreement and said in unison, it makes sense. After dinner, Ji's mother pulled Ji Xingrui to talk about the things to prepare for the wedding, but she didn't expect to hear that the father-in-law hadn't finished it yet. It's over, let your father come. Ji's mother waved her hand and directly handed this glorious task to Comrade Lao Ji. Comrade Lao Ji wanted to refuse, but under the majesty of his daughter-in-law, he had to bite the bullet and agreed. For this, Ji's mother also gave Comrade Lao Ji 2 yuan pocket money. Comrade Ji couldn't remember how long it had been since he had touched more than 50 cents. He raised his hand and sniffed it gently under his nose. The smell of money is really good. Mom, it's not good to let my dad do my thing. Ji Xingrui was a little worried. Stinky boy, you weren't even born when your father was in the martial arts world. Hearing that his ability was questioned by his son, Comrade Ji felt that it was time to show his prowess. That's right, Dad, show me what it means to be a sharp sword. Ji Weimin was not afraid of big things and wanted to cheer for the old man. Don't worry, the mountain people have their own tricks, just wait for the wedding. Comrade Ji patted his chest and made a promise. Seeing his father's mysterious look, Ji Xingrui was lying if he said he was relieved. Lin Qianrui had just finished being affectionate with Wu Haixin and returned home reluctantly. Lin Jinyao had just hung her washed clothes on the clothesline. She only washed her own clothes, and Lin Fengnian's clothes were not washed. Yang Caifan came out and saw that she had not washed their clothes. She rushed over angrily and pretended to pull her clothes off the clothesline. You dare! How dare you threaten me? Although Yang Caifan stopped her actions, she looked at Lin Jinyao with anger. Mom, stop it. Lin Qianrui was a little irritable. Every day when she was at home, she had all kinds of troubles. If she could get married soon, she would be happy to stay with Haixin. Yang Caifan was completely unaware of her biological daughter's idea of escaping from this family. Jinyao, I know you don't like me, so you don't want to wash my clothes. It doesn't matter if you wash my clothes, but you still have to wash your parents' clothes. You have to let them feel your filial piety as a daughter. Lin Qianrui looked like she was thinking about the other party, which made Lin Jinyao laugh directly. Since you said so, then wash it. After all, you are the stepdaughter. Only by washing it can you express your gratitude to my father for raising you. Lin Jinyao said this, directly blocking what Lin Qianrui was going to say next. As the saying goes, follow the path of green tea and leave green tea with nowhere to go. Sure enough, you are still blaming me. Okay, I'll wash it. Lin Qianrui said very aggrievedly, as if Lin Jinyao was targeting her with the matter of washing clothes. However, Lin Jinyao didn't care how she performed. After washing the clothes, she went back to her room and lay down to rest. She didn't get up even if Yang Siphon was washing clothes outside and cursing. Lin Qianrui originally wanted to wash the clothes, but her mother couldn't bear it, so the task of washing the clothes fell on Yang Siphon. Because Lin Jinyao didn't take their share when cooking, and Yang Siphon's cooking was unpalatable, it was hard for Lin Qianrui. My mouth was already tasteless due to pregnancy, and I had to eat their pig food made by my own mother. After a few days, my face turned a little yellow. Chapter 8 Intoxicated by the Gentle Countryside. The food cooked by Yang Siphon was, at most, barely cooked. As for the taste, I won't comment on it. Because, there is nothing to comment on. But even so, Aunt Nyo from next door would come to eat from time to time. Aunt Nyo was definitely a supporter of Yang Siphon's cooking skills. After Lin Jinyao finished lunch, Aunt Nyo came. Yang Siphon had just finished washing clothes and went to the kitchen to cook. Siphon, look at you, I just entered the courtyard and I smelled the fragrance of food. Your cooking skills are definitely top-notch in the 10 miles and 8 villages. Aunt Nyo praised while sitting in front of the stove. Subconsciously, I looked at the pot, which was empty. There was not even any soup at the bottom of the pot, and my old face was a little red. It is said that flattery never wears out, but today it is a case of flattery. What delicious food are you going to make today? There is no other way. Even if she flattered the wrong place, she had to make it right. Otherwise, why would she stay here to eat for free? Aunt Nyo's principle of life is, eat more at the East House, eat less at the West House, and then go home without eating. Horizontal banner, eat other people's food and save your own food. Make some soup and a pancake. This can be considered Yang Siphon's specialty. Because every time Aunt Nyo comes to eat for free, she always treats her with such high standards. Oh, then I'm in for a treat today. Okay, you can eat here. Although Yang Siphon is stingy, she can be said to be open-hearted to Aunt Nyo, giving soup and pancakes, and she is very generous. When Lin Fengnian returned home, he happened to see Aunt Nyo grunting on the kang, shaking her cheeks and making a delicious meal. Seeing Lin Fengnian coming back, Aunt Nyo hurriedly drank the last mouthful of soup. I haven't fed the pigs yet, I'll go back first. After saying that, she picked up the remaining half of the cake and put it in her pocket. Aunt Nyo, what are you busy with? Didn't the pigs just get fed? Lin Fengnian's words were always unpleasant, and Aunt Nyo knew this very well. There's still work to do at home, Siphon, I'll come to chat with you another day. Aunt Nyo was a little scared of Lin Fengnian in private. It was mainly because of his mouth, which was really annoying. What did you two talk about? Gurgle, gurgle, or lele? Lin Fengnian didn't intend to let Aunt Nyo go. As a result, she ran out in a flash, and when he looked up and looked out the window, she had already left the gate. This Aunt Nyo is definitely the fastest runner in our village. Lin Fengnian looked at Yang Siphon and said sarcastically. Old Lin, look at you, Aunt Nyo is also a poor person. It's not easy to live alone. Be more tolerant. Yang Siphon is good to Aunt Nyo, firstly because she feels a little pitiful, and secondly because she has a helper. Some hurtful things that she doesn't want to say can be said through Aunt Nyo's mouth. Well, it's quite pitiful. Otherwise, you let her live here and the three of us live together. Lin Fengnian thought about it and came up with a solution. Lin Fengnian, are you crazy? Now it's a new society, and you still want to marry 2 wives. You old rogue, old shameless. Yang Siphon just felt that she was going crazy. Who does this stinky man think he is? You're not crazy. I work hard every day to earn those hard-earned money, but you send it out to ask for favors. If you feel sorry for her, either you go with her or let her come over and the 3 of us live together. I don't support idle people. Lin Fengnian's words directly blocked Yang Siphon. However, she also heard that he was just angry at the moment, so he said these things, and it should not be taken seriously. Old Lin, don't be angry, you know, my cooking is not delicious, we don't have pigs at home, only a few chickens, and we can't eat so much. I just thought it would be good for someone to clean up the bottom of the vegetables, so as to avoid waste. Yang Caifeng walked in front of Lin Fengnian, pinched his shoulders, and explained why she did so. Chop it up and feed the chickens, and the chickens can lay eggs. Lin Fengnian obviously didn't think so. Yang Caifeng was a little unhappy. Chop it up. Who chopped it? Don't you have to do it yourself? If it wasn't because she found it troublesome to chop it up to feed the chickens, what would Aunt Nio have to do with it? Aunt Nio, who had just returned home, sneezed twice fiercely, thinking, cursing, and muttering, damn Lin Fengnian, he must be the one cursing me behind my back. Aunt Nio, who was soft-hearted, naturally did not dare to go back to cause trouble. She touched her stomach. Fortunately, she was full, so it was okay to curse a few words, and she would not lose anything. Lin Qianrui was so hungry that she found a few biscuits from her wooden box and ate them with cold water. Since what happened that day, Wu Haixin would wander around the door of the Lin family from time to time, looking for an opportunity to find Lin Jinyao to explain. As a result, he didn't meet him once. Several times, he was met by Lin Qianrui. He was pulled directly to the grove. He originally wanted to explain it to her, but he was intoxicated by her gentleness again, and couldn't extricate himself. Men, vanity is at work, who doesn't like someone to admire him? Every time they met, Lin Qianrui would praise him, encourage him, and believe in him. He was so excited by what she said that he felt that the life she talked about was his real life. Comrade Lao Ji came to the Lin family's field early in the morning with 2 bottles of wine and some snacks, peanuts, fried pork with peppers, and rabbit meat. Lao Lin. Lao Ji, why are you here? The moment he saw Ji Guangxin, Lin Fengnian felt that his eyes were dazzled. He came to the field with so many things to find him early in the morning. He was a weasel wishing him a happy new year. He had no good intentions. Haven't I seen you for a while? Come and have a drink together. Lao Ji put the things in place and poured wine for Lin Fengnian. Seeing this, Lin Fengnian hurried over and sat down. Good guy, if he doesn't come again, I'm afraid he will have to respect the heavens, the earth, and himself. Since marrying Yang Caifeng, he won't eat and drink with friends at home. First, Yang Caifeng always does embarrassing things, which makes them unhappy. Second, they don't like Yang Caifeng, and they are disgusted by him and don't want to come. You old man, you never come to see me for no reason. Tell me, what's the matter? Lin Fengnian automatically thought of Ji Xingrui's matter. Did he ask this old man to come here as a lobbyist? What could it be? It's nothing more than a woman giving me some pocket money, and we haven't had a drink together for a long time, so I came to see you. Comrade Ji is very tight-lipped, and it's definitely not something that can be pried open with a bowl of wine. That's good, I thought you came to see me about your third son's matter. Children and grandchildren have their own blessings, I don't care, drink. How can you get anything done without drinking too much? Cheers. Chapter 9 Summer is here, insects are chirping, babies are beating in their stomachs. Comrade Lao Ji took Comrade Lao Lin and they toasted each other. After 3 rounds of drinking, he saw that he was getting drunk and felt that the time was almost right. Lao Lin, you don't know, I envy you for having a caring little cotton-padded jacket, unlike me, who has fur leaky pants. My daughter is really good, warm, caring, and most importantly, beautiful. Lao Ji, am I showing off with you? You don't know, my daughter's cooking is delicious, better than the restaurants. Lao Ji, it's as if you've eaten it before. It's not that the Lin family's conditions are bad and they can't go to the restaurant. It's Comrade Lin Fengnian who can't bear it. You're right, come on, have one. Lao Ji felt that he could still brag, and he must not have drunk enough, so he continued. When Lao Lin's eyes were blurred with drinking, Comrade Lao Ji began to talk about something that had just happened in the next village, saying that there was a girl who married the wrong man and was abused and skinny. Old Ji, I'm telling you, my daughter will get married in the future, hiccup. If her in-laws dare to abuse her, I will risk my life to kill them. I know you love your daughter, but you still have to pick a good family for her, what do you think? Why? Do you have a suitable family? I do know a soldier, he is young, his rank is not low, and I have watched him grow up since he was a child, he has good character and good looks. Seeing that the other party was set up, old Ji began to tell the story. Have I met him? I have seen him. Should soldiers follow the army? That won't work. My daughter is far away, I'm worried. Although he was drunk, his principles were still there. Do you want her to be trapped in this small village for life? Hiccup, why don't you bring someone to meet her tomorrow? What if the two children fall in love with each other and you object? If the children fall in love with each other, I will naturally not object. Lin Fengnian felt that his worries were a bit redundant. I'm not afraid of 10,000, I'm afraid of one. What if you regret and deny it? Old Ji continued. Whoever regrets is a grandson. Lin Fengnian said generously. Okay, no more drinking, let's stop here. If you drink more, you will black out tomorrow. Father Ji saw that the task was completed and shook the bottle with satisfaction. Yes, the wine did the job and it was worth it. Come to my house tomorrow to drink, I have good wine and food ready for you. Lin Fengnian said that he was not stingy, but generous. Yes, you are the most generous, I am stingy. If you can do what you said today tomorrow, I will respect you as a man. Old Ji first sent Lin Fengnian home, and then he carried the leftovers back home. As soon as he entered the door, he was warmly welcomed by his wife. Ji Xingrui just came back from outside, and saw that his father's steps were a little unsteady. How much did he drink? He directly helped him into the room, waited for him to sit down, and poured warm water for him to drink. How is it? Ji's mother asked with some worry. It's done. Let Xingrui go with me to the Lin family tomorrow to meet Jin Yao. Old Lin said that if the child is willing, he won't object. After saying this, Ji's father lay down on the kang and began to snore. The Ji family breathed a sigh of relief, but the Lin family was completely unaware. Lin Jinyao helped Lin Fengnian into the room and lay down. Yang Caifeng drove her out, saying that she could take care of her. Well, after all, they are husband and wife. Lin Jinyao just returned to the room and saw Lin Qianrui sneaking out. She followed him out quietly, this time, not to the grove, but to the back mountain. Until she came to a remote location in the back mountain, Lin Qianrui slowed down. Then she sat on a big rock and looked around. Lin Jinyao found a bush and hid. 5 minutes later, a sneaky figure appeared. Soon he came to Lin Qianrui. Damn it, why did you come just now? Oh, the woman at home is watching closely, otherwise I would have rushed over long ago. Baby, you miss me so much. As the man spoke, his hands wandered restlessly on Lin Qianrui's body. Soon, there were voices that came one after another and were not harmonious. Yes, the voices of the two people seemed not so harmonious. In less than 2 minutes, Lin Qianrui's dissatisfied voice came. What's wrong with you? You have paid the public grain, why are you showing off here? Baby, I'm sorry, the tigress has been watching the rations more closely these 2 days, I will definitely compensate you well another day. The man was also a little reluctant, but now, he was willing but unable. HMPH. Okay, this is for you, you can keep it to buy some delicious food to make up for it. Lin Qianrui was still a little happy at first, but when she saw that it was 5 yuan, she became happy. Then she kissed the man on the cheek. You still love me the most. After 2 minutes, the man put on his clothes and went down the mountain. During the time, he passed by the bushes where Lin Jinyao was hiding, and she saw who it was. Lin Qianrui put on her clothes, patted the dirt on her body, combed her hair, and then pretended to be nothing and went down the mountain. Lin Jinyao felt that her worldview was destroyed, but then she thought again, this person, who stole someone else's fiancé, what worldview can he have? Somewhat curious, what would happen if Wu Haixing knew about this? But on second thought, he couldn't say it for the time being, and had to wait until they were tied together before exposing it. That would be so fun. After going down the mountain, Lin Jinyao found Hu Zi at the end of the village. His parents had both passed away, and now he depended on his grandmother. Thanks to the old lady's fierceness, Hu Zi has not been wronged over the years. She secretly called him over, gave him $1, and then whispered to him, do you understand? Yes, Sister Jinyao, I know what to do. Hu Zi nodded, indicating that he understood. The next day, when Lin Qianrui found Wu Haixing, Hu Zi followed them with a few children and shouted. Summer is here, insects are chirping, little kids, your stomach is jumping. To be honest, Lin Qianrui was a little scared when the children shouted. Go play somewhere else. She started to blast them irritably, and when she saw that they didn't leave, she picked up a branch nearby and wanted to beat them. What are you doing? Seeing that Lin Qianrui was beating the children like crazy, Wu Haixing couldn't bear it and stopped her directly. Didn't you hear what they were shouting? It's just a nursery rhyme, why are you so angry? At this time, Wu Haixing didn't know why she was so angry, but felt that it was too petty to argue with a group of children. Lululu, I can't hit you, I can't hit you. Hu Zi saw the other party's angry look. Not only was he not angry, but he made faces at him. Lin Qianrui saw him provoking her. She felt that her internal organs were hurting. Stinky boy, if you have the guts, don't run. If I catch you, I'll beat your ass. Chapter 10. He wants status, he wants money. Four mouths, no one loves you, robbing men, afraid of being kicked, earning 50 cents, giving $1, paying money, being disliked. He wants status, he wants money. As soon as the jingle came out, Wu Haixing let go. These kids really deserve to be beaten. I have become a gigolo, and a beating can also learn a lesson, okay. As soon as he let go, Lin Qianrui was free and began to chase the kids again. In the end, she got serious and ran away. Lin Qianrui ran out of breath, and saw Wu Haixing standing there, as if nothing had happened. She was even more angry. However, she was unable to completely win him over, so she could only take 2 deep breaths, and then she showed a smile that was uglier than crying and walked over. Haixing, let's go for a walk together. In fact, just as Hu Zi said in the jingle just now, she wanted a name. Qianrui, you and the Ji family are engaged, it's not good for us to be like this. From the beginning to the end, Wu Haixing wanted to end this abnormal relationship. It's just that the other party was too tight, leaving him no time to breathe. Haixing, if it was before, I would definitely agree to you, but now it's not possible. Lin Qianrui directly took his hand and touched her belly. At this moment, Wu Haixing was dumbfounded. Scared. You are pregnant. Wu Haixing didn't even know how he said this completely. Yes. Lin Qianrui didn't want to force him to make a decision so quickly, but now it's not possible. Although Hu Zi's group of kids didn't know where they heard it from, if it got out, he would be finished. Why are you so careless? Wu Haixing felt like he was going crazy. Looking at the round-faced and pear-shaped Lin Qianrui in front of him, the only feeling in his heart was disgust. Lin Qianrui was also a little surprised when he heard his words. I was not careful. She even pointed at her nose in disbelief when she spoke. As if she wanted to confirm with him that she did not misunderstand the meaning of his words. Otherwise, you, a woman, don't even know how to take medicine. Wu Haixing said, and the whole person was very irritable. Then, he walked away in big strides. As for Lin Qianrui behind him, he didn't even look at her. Seeing this, Lin Qianrui kept comforting himself in his heart. He was just too shocked, and it would be fine when he figured it out. Early in the morning, Ji Xinrui followed his parents and came to the Lin family with 2 pounds of pork, a basket of eggs, 2 bottles of wine, and a snack. Ji Xinrui, who was not afraid of real swords and guns, walked to the gate of the Lin family and was a little nervous. Yang Siphon came out to pour water and happened to meet their family of 3. What are you doing? We are here to look for old Lin. Mother Ji's answer made Yang Siphon a little unhappy. She can't be the head of the family or make decisions, so why look for her own man? He's not here. He went to work in the fields. Yang Siphon found a random excuse to evade them, and she didn't mean to let them go in and wait. In fact, Lin Fengnian didn't go out today. He got up early in the morning and was a little depressed. No matter how Yang Siphon asked, he just didn't say anything. But now she guessed that it might have something to do with the person in front of her. Uncle Ji, Auntie, Brother Ji, why are you here? Don't stand outside, sit inside. Lin Jinyao had just finished cooking and came out of the kitchen. When she saw them, she took the initiative to greet them. Yao Yao, we are here to look for your dad. Mother Ji liked Lin Jinyao's little face very much when she saw her. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also very pretty. Turning his head, he looked at his 3rd child. He was pretty good looking. If he had a boy or a girl in the future, how cute would the little guy be? Just thinking about it, I felt that the Ji family's ancestral graves were smoking. He's at home. Please come in. Lin Jinyao ignored Yang Siphon's eyes and invited them in. Yang Siphon stamped her feet in anger and followed them in. Lin Fengnian saw them coming, followed by Ji Xinrui. Thinking of being tricked when drinking yesterday, he glared at old Ji. Old Lin, look at my 3rd child. Isn't he a handsome man? You have watched him grow up. He has good character and knows how to be warm and cold. What are you worried about? Old G didn't care about the other party's glare at all. Hey, I said yesterday that whoever regrets will be the grandson. Fearing that he would say something he didn't want to hear, he quickly blocked his mouth with yesterday's words. When Lin Jinyao heard this, she wondered what inside story she didn't know. Looking at her father, she was puzzled by his guilty look. Lin Fengnian felt bitter. He couldn't say that he didn't know his last name after drinking some cat urine. He even arranged to marry his daughter like this. Drinking will lead to trouble. Compared to the complicated psychological activities of Lin Fengnian, the three members of the Ji family were simple-minded. They were just trying to get things done. Seeing what they brought, they could see their sincerity. After all, Lin Fengnian only agreed to meet her. Basically, he only needed to bring one thing. He prepared for sets, showing his sincerity. Old Lin, Jinyao will meet my nephew from my mother's family this afternoon. Did you forget? Yang Caifeng winked at him when she spoke, hoping that he would continue to talk along with her. When did it happen? How come I don't know? But Lin Fengnian is a straight man, completely ignoring the other party's good intentions. What's wrong with your eyes? Bugs in them. Go wash them. When Ji's mother heard this, she laughed directly. Oh, Caifeng, it turns out that this cutting can be inherited. Ji's mother's family and Yang Caifeng's family are from the same village, the head and the tail of the village, so she knows everything about the Yang family. Back then, Yang's mother married Yang's father by cutting, which was a well-known secret in the village. Wang Mingxia, don't go too far. Hearing Ji's mother talking about the past, Yang Caifeng was annoyed. Oh, Lao Lin, look at your Caifeng, she can't even take a joke. Ji's mother joked with a smile. Lin Fengnian glared at Yang Caifeng and motioned her to be quiet. Yang Caifeng felt wronged, but she didn't dare to say anything more. Lin Jinyao went to the kitchen to boil water, and Ji Xingrui followed her in directly to help light the fire. Yang Caifeng looked at the four gifts, feeling very bitter. It was all because her daughter was not doing well, otherwise she would be the one to talk about marriage today. Jinyao, your father doesn't object anymore. Ji Xingrui said while watching her reaction while lighting the fire. What are you keeping in suspense? Lin Jinyao was a little confused. After all, Lin Fengnian's personality was not like someone who could change his mind easily. This is all thanks to my father. Since she wanted to know, Ji Xingrui told her the truth. Hearing that her father agreed to see her again after a drink, Lin Jinyao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Chapter 11. What the hell? You're getting married when you don't have time to get married, you're crazy. Bang. Yi Zhiqiu rubbed her sore neck and opened her eyes sleepily. She was pulled up early in the morning and was busy all over. She thought she had nothing to do, but she was forced to come to accompany the guests. She was irritable. You girl, are you staring at your brother-in-law? Just when Yi Zhiqiu was still recalling the plot in the book, she was slapped on the neck by her grandmother Wang Chuju, which hurt. The so-called brother-in-law was just the buyer that Wang Chuju and her group conspired to sell her sister Yi Chunxiao for a good price. But I have to admit that this man is so handsome. He is completely in line with Yi Zhiqiu's aesthetic taste. Star eyebrows and sword eyes, three-dimensional facial features, short hair, just sitting there, you can sense the masculinity of the other person. I heard that he is a soldier, but... Hey, Aunt Wang, you are still sitting here. Your daughter hugged the educated youth in the village and was caught. Go and have a look. At this moment, a sharp female voice sounded from outside, interrupting Yi Zhiqiu's thoughts directly. This time, I can't go through it. I can't go through it. Yi Zhiqiu traveled through time to the original owner's body 3 days ago. It's a bit funny to talk about it. In modern times, she is a rich second generation. Her daily life is eating, drinking, practicing yoga, and shopping. She spends as she pleases and has financial freedom. A good friend was afraid of revenge from her ex-boyfriend, so she called her to be brave. As a result, she went there bravely. But she was pushed out by her friend to block the knife and died. As for the original owner, it was because the weather was cold, and her sister kindly made some charcoal fire in her room. The original owner was poisoned by coal and died. Now it is really a body of 74 years old, and a soul of 34 years old. It's scary to think about it. It was not only Wang Chuju who went to watch the excitement, but also the people present, including Yi Chunxiao's nominal fiancé. When they came to the river where the accident happened, they saw that Yi Chuanxiao's clothes were all stuck to his body. The educated youth next to him turned his face away and didn't dare to look at him anymore. But he didn't look, it didn't mean that others didn't dare to look. There were many unmarried men who were secretly looking at him. Some married men looked at him, but they were slapped by their wives and immediately became much more honest. Yi Zhiqiu rushed over and put the coat she had prepared in advance on Yi Chunxiao, wrapping her up to prevent her from being exposed again. "Grandma, I want to marry Liu Jiqing." Yi Chunxiao, who had just put on her clothes, said this rashly, which was undoubtedly a thunder in the clear sky, deafening. "What?" Wang Chuju didn't stand firmly and fell to the ground. "This damn little hoof, I took the money, but she actually wants to marry someone else." Hearing Yi Chuanxiao's words, everyone's eyes subconsciously turned to her fiancé, Shen Yuchen. But I don't know what kind of kung fu he practiced, and there was no fluctuation on his face, as if the woman in front of him was not his fiancé at all, but just an insignificant bystander. Yi Zhiqiu also looked over. This man was too calm. This green hat is about to be welded on his head, but he can still stand here and watch the fun without changing his face or heartbeat. Seriously. "I won't marry, I have a girl I like." Liu Jiqing waved his hands repeatedly, and subconsciously took 2 steps back. Then his eyes fell on Yi Zhiqiu. Expression. "This guy likes me." Who, the original owner? He actually likes the original owner? Did the two of them have an affair? Did they have a secret affair? After racking his brains, Yi Zhiqiu couldn't think of anything out of the ordinary. To be precise, Yi Zhiqiu knew very little about the educated youth Liu Haishan. Just looking at the way he looked at himself, it was really not innocent. Could it be that the original owner's memory was incomplete? When Yi Zhiqiu thought of this possibility, he felt sick. In the end, Wang Chuju dragged Yi Chunxiao back home regardless of anything. When everyone saw that the person involved had left, there was no excitement to watch, so they dispersed. After returning home, Yi Chunxiao locked herself in the room and refused to open the door no matter who knocked outside. Shen Yuchen was going to leave. After all, they both knew that the marriage would not work out. But he couldn't resist Wang Chuju's enthusiasm. She dragged him to stay for dinner, saying something like, "Even if the deal doesn't work out, the friendship still exists," which made the atmosphere a little awkward. So the old lady knew that she was selling her granddaughter? But after all, she still had to rely on the old lady for her life, so Yi Zhiqiu didn't say much. After all, even if she said it, she might get beaten up. She had a bad temper, and she was weak now and needed to be taken care of. During the meal, Uncle Yi Dalin, second Uncle Yi Darhai, and Father Yi Dai all came back, and they sat at the same table with Shen Yuchen to eat and drink. Shen Yuchen said that he couldn't drink, but he couldn't resist the 3 people's persuasion. It would have been better if he didn't give in, but once he gave in, it was settled. Who to drink with and who not to drink with. In the end, she accepted all who came and drank too much. Wang Chuju directly let Shen Yuchen live in the room of Yi Zhiqiu's elder brother, Yi Limin. Originally, everything was peaceful. At this point, when Shen Yuchen sobered up, the matter could come to an end. As a result, both she and Shen Yuchen underestimated Wang Chuju's determination to promote this marriage. Unexpectedly, she didn't wake up until dark after getting drunk. After dark, Wang Chuju went to Yi Chuanxiao's room and whispered for a long time before leaving her room contentedly. After she left, Yi Zhiqiu, who was sleeping in a daze, was awakened. "Zhiqiu." Yi Zhiqiu didn't have time to shout out before Yi Chunxiao covered her mouth with his hand. Sure. Yi Zhiqiu only saw the other person's true face. It was Yi Chunxiao. It was so scary. Just now she thought she was going to score twice and die twice. Little ghosts are asking for my life, isn't it scary? "Sister, just call me if you want, why do you have to drag out the sound?" Yi Zhiqiu patted herself gently, fearing that one of her souls would not return to its place. "Sorry, I scared you. Grandma said she wants to sleep with you tonight, and let you sleep in my room." Yi Chunxiao said her purpose. Hearing her words, Yi Zhiqiu did not doubt her. After all, there was a Kang in her room, not to mention sleeping 2 people. Sleeping for 5 people was not a problem, and here, it was a temporary plank bed. "Get up, put on shoes, and go to Yi Chuanxiao's room. It is autumn now, especially in the second half of the night, the room is still a little cold. So the stove has been set up in the house if it has the conditions." Chapter 12. In ancient times, people swore blood to make an oath, and now people test jade pendants with blood. Lin Qianrui had already imagined her mother's reaction, so she could accept it. The biggest reason why she couldn't turn her face was that even if she got married, she still had to rely on her mother for her life. She was also clear about the situation of the Wu family. Marrying there, it would be almost the same, not to mention eating coarse food. Although Wu Haixing dressed well all day long, he was the only one in the family who dressed formally, and he didn't do much work in the fields on weekdays. The strong laborious in the Wu family were all women. Mother Wu gave birth to 3 daughters and 3 sons. Wu Haixing was the 4th child, and there were 2 younger brothers. The 3 older sisters were all married, and they would come back to help during the busy farming season. The 3 sons were lazy and didn't work much. Sometimes when Father Wu was furious, he asked them to work, but Mother Wu stopped them, saying that the children were still young and that they would have to work later. Anyway, there were always various reasons to protect them from working, and over time, Father Wu himself stopped working. Mother Wu was the only one who worked hard, and no one cared about the 3 sons. Yang Caifeng didn't eat dinner, and she lay in the room sulking. Lin Qianrui ate a bite to fill her stomach, and just as she lay down, she heard the cuckoo outside the window. She opened the window and saw the man, and was scared to death. The 2 of them quietly set a time, and the man left. Lin Qianrui turned around and saw Lin Jinyao leaning against the door, looking at her with a smile. "When did you come?" "Just now. What were you doing mysteriously?" Lin Jinyao actually saw it, but she didn't say it, which made her anxious. "It's hot, I'll open the window to get some fresh air." Lin Qianrui could only pray in her heart, hoping that she didn't see anything. "I remember you said you don't like Wu Haixing." Yes. Lin Qianrui was a little bit unresponsive to her sudden mention. She felt guilty, so she stuttered. Seeing her guilty look, the other party just smiled contemptuously. TSK, so you don't like him?" After saying that, she turned around and left. Lin Qianrui was a little strange. Just when she was about to see what she wanted to do, she was stunned when she walked to the door. "Hi, Haixing, why are you here?" Lin Qianrui was so nervous that her heart was about to jump to her throat. "Did he hear everything?" "He came to find you, I just called you to help," Lin Jinyao said, and then went back to the room. Wu Haixing, standing in the yard, looked at Lin Qianrui with a look that seemed to be hurt. Some sadness, some loss. No matter which point, Lin Qianrui couldn't bear to let him go. Wu Haixing turned and ran away. Seeing this, Lin Qianrui chased him out without saying a word. Yang Caifeng, who had been lying down, hurriedly put on her shoes and chased him out. Lin Fengnian ignored this and prepared to wash his feet and rest. "Dad, you are too calm. Aren't you afraid that Aunt Yarn will come back and make trouble with you, saying that you don't care about them?" According to the original owner's memory, Lin Fengnian didn't seem to be very close to the original owner. Sometimes he treated them better than her. It's just that the original owner grew up slowly, and Lin Fengnian seemed to start caring about this daughter. "You're all grown up, and I don't need to pretend to care. After you get married, if your Aunt Yang is willing to live with me, I will give her food. If she is not willing, I won't stop her." Lin Fengnian was calm when he spoke. She could tell that he was telling the truth. "What about before? When you were young, I always had to go out to work, and someone had to take care of you." Sigh. At this point, Lin Fengnian couldn't help but sigh, not knowing whether it was regret or something else. After he washed his feet, he went to the woodshed and quietly took out a brocade box that was so black that you couldn't see its original color, but you could see the style of the carvings on it, which didn't look like a vulgar item. "This, Nan, you keep it." "Dad, what is this?" "Your mother left it, and the dowry I saved for you over the years." When Lin Fengnian handed the things to her, his eyes were red. "My Nan has grown up." Lin Fengnian's emotion made Lin Jinyao feel a little sour. Lin Jinyao returned to the room, took out the key given by her father, unlocked it, and saw a jade bracelet, 2 gold bars, some gold melon seeds, a jade pendant, and the rest was money. After counting, there were a total of 361 yuan and 24 cents. It is hard to imagine how a farmer who makes a living from the soil and has to support his family can save so much. The emotion in my heart is beyond words, and my eyes are wet. The emotions here are more from the original owner, and she can feel it. Tears flowed down involuntarily, and the tears fell directly on the jade pendant. Just when I was about to wipe them, I found that they were absorbed by the jade pendant. Although I didn't see anything, I can't help but think a lot of ideas from Lin Jinyao. As a senior programmer, I firmly believe that everything is possible. Thinking of this, I rubbed some tears on the bracelet with my fingers, and the tears were still there. Try the jade pendant again, and it will be absorbed in seconds. It seems that the key is still on this jade pendant. By the way, blood. In ancient times, people swore blood oaths to make alliances, and now people test jade pendants with blood drops. Lin Jinyao was afraid of pain and a little dizzy with blood, so she found a needle for sewing clothes, closed her eyes, and stabbed. It's crooked. Okay, let us do it again. The second time, I got it right. I squeezed it hard and dripped a few drops of blood onto the jade pendant, but found that there was no reaction at all. Does it need a spell, such as open sesame? No reaction. Mommy, coax. A white light flashed, and Lin Jinyao subconsciously covered her eyes with her arms. When she put them down, she was actually back to her modern home. Is this back? I had just prepared to do something with the handsome soldier, how come I'm back? What a pity. I bought this house because it had a private door and yard, and the price was right. I was typing under the grape trellis, and my brain speed was great. But why is there only this one house? The surroundings were covered by fog and I couldn't see them. I walked through the grape trellis and entered the room. I saw my Patrick keychain on the shoe rack at the door. Nothing had changed. I went straight to the kitchen. Seeing the refrigerator full of things, I felt relieved. I came to the place where I usually spend the most time, that is, the study. I decorated it very beautifully because basically, apart from sleeping, I was here to look up information and type. Looking at such familiar scenes, the computer was still on, and the page still showed the chapter 1 had coded halfway that day. I have been off for so long, I can forget about being fully present. I hope the fans have not abandoned me. Chapter 13. This space is a bit of a pit. Because I was itching to write, Lin Jinyao sat on the chair and started typing. But I didn't expect that as soon as I typed, another interface popped up on the screen. It turned out to be a shopping store, with everything from food and clothing. Clearly marked price, 5 yuan per 1,000 words. Damn. 5 yuan. What a joke. 1,000 words, that's 1,000 words. Thinking of my previous writing, it was not tens of thousands, but it started in the 3 digits. Now, it starts in the single digits. This mall is classified. Food, clothing and daily necessities are all separated. They are also divided into levels, ranging from level 1 to level 10. 10 yuan can upgrade 1 level. For example, food, 1 yuan is coarse grain rice, level 2 cornmeal, level 3 white flour, level 4 ordinary rice. Note, some stones will appear occasionally, level 5 surprise rice, level 6 long grain fragrant, level 7 pearl rice. Levels 8 to 10 are not available for the time being, showing locked. The same is true for fabrics and meat. And the money I earned from typing can only be spent in this mall, and I can't take out space. I saw fabrics, finished clothes, meat, seafood, and various seasonings. Even women's products are available, but they are a bit expensive, all above level 5. After unlocking, you still have to buy them with money. This space is a bit of a pit. Just when she wanted to scroll down, a taskbar popped up directly. Task 1, update 150,000 words a month, reward 10 yuan. Task 2, update 200,000 words a month, reward 20 yuan. Task 3, update 300,000 words in a month, and get a reward of 50 yuan. Please choose. When Lin Jinyao saw this task, she felt bold. I really want to ask, do punctuation marks count as words? At this time, a friendly reminder popped up on the computer, punctuation marks do not count as words, and nonsense words do not count. Sure enough, it's a dog. To be on the safe side, she chose task 2. 300,000 words, I'm afraid she can't write them even if she stays up all night. And there are other things to do on weekdays. First time accepting a task, reward 3 yuan. When Lin Jinyao saw the balance showing 3 yuan, she was a little excited. This is money. With money, you can unlock whatever you want, you can be willful with money. Just when she wanted to write, she heard a cursing voice coming from outside. 2 words came to her mind, get out, and she returned to the Kang in her room. I thought I was back home, but I found that home had become my own portable space. After thinking about it, I could barely accept it. Hearing someone walking towards her room, Lin Jinyao directly put the brocade box into space with her mind. Dong dong dong. Jinyao, come out for a moment. Yang Siphon's voice sounded outside the door. She was a little confused, but she still went out. As a result, she saw Yang Siphon's sister and brother-in-law standing in the yard, as well as her eldest nephew, Song Minghui. 3 years older than herself, lustful and gambling, not doing her job properly, and also likes to tease young girls in various ways. She is not a scum, but the scum of the people. Lin Qinrui sat aside, looking at her with a smile. It was just a short while, and the mother and daughter laughed away their grudges. Otherwise, how could they sit here and share the same hatred? Lin Fengnian also sat in the yard, very dissatisfied with Yang Siphon's behavior of asking her daughter to come out. Nan Nan is tired and needs to rest. Siphon, tell me if you have something to say. Lin Fengnian was glad that he was at home at this time, otherwise, it would be really difficult to say to this crazy woman. Little sister, come and sit down. Song Minghui couldn't move his eyes away when he saw Lin Jinyao. Lin Jinyao looked more and more beautiful. It is said that one kind of water cannot raise two kinds of people. But when compared with Lin Qinrui, there was a big difference. Aunt Yan, I need to rest. If you have something to say, just tell me. Lin Jinyao didn't want to go over, even if it looked impolite. So what? This person came to the door rashly, and Yang Siphon wanted to meet him herself, which was even more impolite. Jinyao, you grew up under my watch, and my nephew is also handsome, not to mention that he has liked you for a long time, so I thought of making a connection and letting you young people get in touch. And then, seeing Yang Siphon's eyebrows dancing, those who didn't know would think that the matter was settled. As a result, Lin Jinyao's, and then successfully made Yang Siphon's smiling mouth fall. If you two get along well, then our two families will be better off, and we will be even closer. Yang Siphon said very unnaturally. After all, this dead girl is a little bit unruly now. If she can't get off the stage, how can she have face in her mother's family in the future? Siphon, come here and let the young people talk by themselves. When the elders get involved, it will easily change the taste. Seeing this, Yang Saimei took the initiative to smooth things over. In her opinion, it is difficult for a girl to dislike her son who is so outstanding. Lin Jinyao must be shy because there are so many people present. That's right, Fengnian, smoke. In order to save face, Song's father bought cigarettes today. While speaking, he handed a cigarette to Lin Fengnian, but he waved his hand and declined. I'll just smoke my welding cigarette. I can't get used to your cigarette. Hearing that the other party said he couldn't get used to it, although he felt that he was too rustic and unpromising, he just took it back happily. Little sister. Song Minghui stood up and was about to go over after hearing what his mother said. Stop. Lin Fengnian stopped him directly. If you have anything to say it here. My daughter is now dating the third son of the Ji family. Don't affect her reputation. The daughter slave Lin Fengnian is online again. What? Siphon, what's going on? Yang Saimei was a little unhappy immediately. Before coming, her sister said something different. Why did she change her mind as soon as she entered the door? Old Lin, what's wrong with you? Didn't I say that my nephew from my mother's family wanted to meet Jin Yao? Why did you decide? Yang Siphon did it on purpose, wanting to ruin Lin Jin Yao's marriage with the Ji family. Only in this way can her idiot daughter have the opportunity to marry into the Ji family. You were there at the time, didn't you hear it? You accepted the gift. Seeing what the Song family brought, it was just a box of snacks, and they ate half of it themselves. As for this kind of family, even if there was no Ji Xinrui, he would never dare to let his daughter contact them. I have a good idea. At this time, Lin Jinyao spoke. What idea? Yang Siphon thought she was going to cancel the marriage with the Ji family and meet her nephew. And Song Minghui looked like he knew it. What a damn charm. Why not let Qian Rui meet her cousin? No way. At this time, Yang Siphon and Lin Qian Rui shouted in unison, and their hoarse voices broke directly. Chapter 14. The dream is over and the sky is bright. Lin Qianrui couldn't help but glare at Lin Jinyao. She really dared to say anything. Jinyao, I am your biological sister, why do you hurt me like this? Lin Qianrui's voice was a little choked up and her eyes were slightly red when she spoke. It can be seen that she was enjoying it. Is it harming you by letting you date your cousin? Lin Jinyao asked innocently. Silly child, they are cousins, so it will definitely not work. You and Minghui have no blood relationship, so I'm thinking of strengthening the relationship. Yang Siphon tried her best to explain to Lin Jinyao in a gentle motherly voice. As for whether she could listen to it or not, she had no control over it. Yang Siphon, go back and see your mother. At this moment, Lin Fengnian spoke. Yang Siphon was a little dumbfounded when she heard his proposal. Go back to your mother's home. Is he going to send me back to my parents' home? Old Lin, what are you talking about? This is my home and I'm not going anywhere. Yang Siphon was thick-skinned and would not leave no matter what Lin Fengnian said. Finally, Yang Saimei could no longer sit still and left with the man and child. On their way back, Song Minghui was obviously unwilling to give up. So I thought of letting my mother and aunt discuss it. It would be better to make it a done deal. Par. Mom, you're crazy. Song's father did not try to stop her and watched Song Minghui jumping up and down while being beaten by his wife. You want to die? If you do something like this, you will have to eat peanuts. Yang Saimei has only this son. Although he is spoiled a little bit on weekdays and plays many fancy games. But she also tried her best to manage it, especially when it came to things like today. Her principle was to beat him until he was convinced verbally and mentally. This damn idea of his must be eradicated from the root. Mom, I was just talking, why did you do such a cruel thing to me? Song Minghui felt that there was no place on his body that didn't hurt. It's right that it hurts. It's to teach you a lesson. Don't you just tease cats and dogs every day and do those deadly things? In the end, Song Minghui was taken home by Yang Saimei by the ears. Song's father remained silent the whole time and didn't dare to say a single word. Once you say it, you will be held jointly liable. Your life is at stake. Yang Siphon was very unhappy when she saw her sister leaving, but she didn't dare to chase after her. She believed that as soon as she left, Lin Fengnian would lock the door from the inside. Even though I have been with him for many years, I still can't win him over. Talking to yourself will never work in front of him. Lying on the kang at night, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep, thinking about Lin Qianrui's matter. Lin Fengnian on the side was snoring loudly, while Lin Qianrui quietly slipped out of the door again. She was originally going out for a date, but was pulled back by her mother. There was no choice but to sneak out again. He arrived at the back of the mountain with ease, and as soon as he arrived, he was hugged from behind. You're finally here. I was so anxious. As the man spoke, his hand gently touched her belly. What are you doing? Realizing his intention, Lin Qianrui panicked and stepped out of the man's arms. What are you afraid of? Can I kill my own offspring? The man was somewhat displeased when he saw her keeping a distance from him. You know. Lin Qianrui's voice was filled with nervousness. But to men, it undoubtedly sounds like a sign of fear of being irresponsible. Thinking of this, his eyes couldn't help but darken. At the moment, he is really not very responsible. But this was his child, and he couldn't bear to abort it. Just give birth to the baby. I will find a way to support both of you and your child. The man's sincere tone did not make Lin Qianrui relax. If he doesn't want the child, everything will be easy. Unfortunately, the opposite happened. Not only did he want the child, he also wanted to take him in himself. This is really difficult. Brother Jianxi, this child cannot be kept. Lin Qianrui adjusted her emotions, her tone full of grievance, helplessness and reluctance. Wang Jinsha's heart was broken. He rushed forward to hug her, patting her back gently. Be good, don't be afraid, I'm here for you. The two of them found a place to sit down. They used to have some romantic thoughts in their mind, but today they had none of that. However, they could not reach a consensus on whether the child should stay or go, and ended up parting on bad terms. Wang Jianxi secretly escorted Lin Qianrui back home, then turned around and walked back. Lin Qianrui sneaked back home and lay on the kang, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep at all. I finally fell asleep, but I had a nightmare. In the dream, Wang Jianxi competed with her for the child and revealed their relationship in front of Wu Haixing, which made Wu Haixing so hateful that he almost strangled himself to death. Fortunately, at this moment, the dream ended and the sky was bright. Lin Qianrui put on her clothes listlessly and went straight to the gate of the Wu family to wait. When Wu Haixing came out to use the toilet, he saw her squatting not far from the door, so he walked over. Haixing, let's get married. Wu Haixing was not surprised by Lin Qianrui's initiative. After all, as he knew, she was pregnant and it was only a matter of time before they got married. My family doesn't have the money to pay the bride price. Even though he had agreed, Wu Haixing still felt it necessary to tell her about his family's conditions. I only want you. Lin Qianrui's words satisfied Wu Haixing's vanity at once. I will live with my parents after marriage. I have a younger brother who needs to be taken care of and needs our help. Good. Anyway, no matter what Wu Haixing said, Lin Qianrui agreed to it in the end. In her opinion, since she married him, after sharing the hardships, the only thing left for her to do was to share the happiness. Good days are beckoning her. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Wu Haixing told her to go home and wait, and that he would bring his parents to propose marriage today and also set the wedding date. Having gotten a satisfactory answer, Lin Qianrui felt relieved and went home happily. When it was almost noon, Wu Haixing and his family arrived late, carrying half a pound of lard and a bunch of green onions, saying that they had come to arrange the marriage of the two children. Yang Caifeng really wanted to kill herself, but seeing her daughter's happy expression, she finally accepted it. Lin Fengnian didn't want to participate, so he just sat aside and smoked quietly. Even Yang Caifeng didn't say much. It was Wu's mother who sat there the whole time, praising her son to the heavens. Mother-in-law, don't worry. Qian Rui will definitely enjoy a good life after marrying into our family. She won't have to suffer. You can rest assured. Mother Wu concluded. When Yang Caifeng heard this, she was overwhelmed. Then Wu's mother said that the second day of next month was a very good day, so they decided to hold the wedding on that day. Seeing that her daughter was eager to get married, Yang Caifeng did not try to stop her and agreed. Chapter 15, Mother-in-law, what is this, pig food? Linzi, what did you say? Song Meizi rushed out when she heard Qian Chulin's voice. She even lost one of her shoes. Song Meizi hadn't eaten meat for some time and was very greedy. Grandma, I smelled it, and I also heard them eating meat buns. Qian Chulin shouted. Linzi, stop talking nonsense. If your elder sister brought back some delicious food, how could she not honor your grandma? Qian Chulin's mother Shishulian came out and scolded softly, but Qian Chutong knew that she was deliberately trying to seduce her in front of Song Meizi. HMPH, you little bitch, you'll tear off the roof if you're not punished for 3 days. You don't know how to offer me the delicious food, but instead give it to 2 freeloaders. Song Meizi is not well educated. Over the years, she has become a bully in the village. Because she is unreasonable and old, many people avoid her when they see her and don't want to have anything to do with her. Mom, what Linzi said may not be true, please don't be angry. Mainly because Song Meizi shouted like this, people passing by outside the gate began to stick their heads inside. She was worried about being embarrassed, so if there was anything, it would be best to solve it behind closed doors. Qian Chutong, come out here. Seeing that Qian Chutong still didn't come out after she had been scolding her for a while, Song Meizi wanted to go over and knock on the door. Grandma, look at you, what are you doing? I've come a long way and I'm tired. I want to take a rest. Why are you so hysterical? Qian Chutong had a smile on her face and she didn't seem unhappy about being scolded by Song Meizi. The people at the door originally wanted to leave, but when they heard Qian Chutong's voice, they stopped and wondered in their hearts whether Qian Chutong could protect her 2 younger brothers and sisters. It is pitiful to say that Qian Dasan was a real hero. For so many years, he worked like a slave for the Qian family. Even after his death, his own children were not treated well. It's really a sin, said an old woman. That's right. In the past 2 years, the 2 little ones have been sleeping later than dogs and getting up earlier than chickens. They have been working day and night and are so skinny that their bones are visible. I don't know why Mrs. Song is so cruel. Another person also spoke up. It's none of your business. It's my family business. Why do you have to worry about it? When Song Meizi heard people talking about her, she started cursing without worrying that her words would offend others. Mrs. Song, you abuse your grandchildren like this. Aren't you afraid that your Dasan will come looking for you at night? The old woman spoke directly after hearing what Song Meizi said. It's none of your business. Now Qian Chutong is disrespectful to her elders. She bought the meat buns and was not filial to me, her grandmother. Song Meizi was angry because she didn't get to eat the meat buns. Grandma, look at these people at home. They are all fat and plump. Look at Yarn Yarn and Xiaoyu, they are so thin that only skin and bones are left. Do you want to starve them to death? Chen Shutong took advantage of the fact that there were many people around and felt that it was okay to raise some issues now. Stop talking nonsense. No matter how much they eat, they don't gain weight. Do you want to blame me for not feeding them enough? Song Meizi didn't take Chen Shutong seriously at all. Instead, she started to make trouble. Grandma, when I got married, I didn't take a penny of the 150 yuan dowry with me, just so that you would treat the two children well. But how did you do it? I'm afraid that 150 yuan has gone down the drain. As soon as Chen Shutong finished speaking, Shishulian's face suddenly turned ugly. Isn't this just a veiled criticism? What nonsense are you talking about? Didn't you take the money away? Song Meizi was afraid that the matter of her Chen Shutong's dowry money would spread, so she hurriedly explained. Grandma, I took it all away. You didn't even make me a new piece of clothing, so what did I take away? I remember when I left, you said that if I wanted to leave, I had to leave quickly and not think of taking away a single needle or thread from the Chen family. Chen Shutong spoke of the past so bluntly, and the discussions outside became louder and louder. Sure enough, if we talk about the inhumane person in Qinjie village, Mrs. Song ranks second, and no one dares to rank first, the old woman continued. You, widow Liu, are not from our Qinjie village, so stop adding fuel to the fire and making nonsense. Song Meizi yelled. Grandma, the truth is not in the loudness of the voice. People are just discussing the facts. Why are you so angry? Chen Shutong said. Bar, you little bitch, even if I didn't let you take the dowry money, so what? Haven't your two brothers and sisters-in-law spent any money on food and drink in the past 2 years? Song Meizi's unreasonable appearance once again refreshed others' perception of shamelessness. Grandma, if you really say that the money was spent on Yarn Yarn and Xiaoyu, I won't say anything else, but... Just then, Chen Chuyang and Chen Chuyu came out. They looked so skinny that it made people feel distressed. You're just like that damn mother of yours, how can you blame me? Song Meizi shouted angrily. She felt that Chen Shutong was against her, which made her very unhappy. Shutong, you haven't come back much in the past 2 years. Although your grandma and I don't take good care of you two siblings, we treat them the same as Linzi. What you said hurts our hearts. Shishulian is a talkative person. When Song Meizi saw her daughter-in-law speaking, she kept silent for a while. Sister, we have to get up before dawn to work every day and we don't even have enough to eat. Please take us away. Chen Chuyu burst into tears, and her words were so heartbreaking. You stupid girl, stop talking nonsense. I'm going to beat you to death. Song Meizi was about to take off her shoes and go over to hit her, but was stopped by Chen Shutong, who snatched the shoes from Song Meizi's hand, turned around, and threw them directly into the pig pen, and the pigs began to arch their backs. My shoes, ouch, you little bitch, my shoes. Song Meizi wanted to rush in and snatch the shoes back, but she finally held back because they were so stinky. Grandma, since you don't like us so much, let's just split up. Chen Shutong had originally planned to ask the village chief tomorrow and then bring it up with Song Meizi, but now that something has happened, the opportunity cannot be missed, so just make it happen. What? Divide the family. Song Meizi seemed to have heard a joke. A married woman actually returned to her parents' home to arrange for the division of the family. It would be a joke if anyone told others about it. Qiu Tong, you can't talk nonsense. Now that you are married, you should not be involved in the affairs of the Chen family anymore. The first thing Shishio Lian was worried about was the land, food, and money, which could not be divided up, not to mention that there were 2 free laboris. Chapter 16 Now, it's all bullshit. Second aunt, are you reluctant to part with these 2 young laboris? Chen Shutong saw through Shishulian's thoughts at a glance. If it weren't for the 2 little ones, wouldn't she and Chen Shulin have plenty of work to do? Shutong, you are really wronging your second aunt. In the 2 years since you got married, no matter how good or bad they were, you never let them go hungry. At least they had a place to shelter from the wind and rain. Shishulian became a little unhappy when she saw Chen Shutong's face. She had ignored her younger brothers and sisters for more than 2 years, so what qualifications did she have to blame them here? A place to shelter from the wind and rain? If I remember correctly, this house was built by my parents. At the beginning, my second aunt's family cried and begged to move in, saying they would leave after the house was built. They have lived here for 7 or 8 years. Hearing Chen Shutong's words, Shishio Lian's face became even uglier. She didn't expect that Chen Shutong, who was cowardly and easily bullied before, would be so bold now. Chen Shutong, are you crazy? Or did you take the wrong medicine? Or did you get bullied at your in-law's house, so you come home to make trouble with us? Song Meizi said angrily. She always felt that Chen Shutong came back this time just to cause trouble, just like her dead mother. It was unlucky just by looking at her, and she couldn't help but spit. Grandma, now we are talking about how you abused my younger brother and sister. There is no need to say anything else. Should we divide the family or not? Chen Shutong didn't want to waste her words with them. Some things cannot be explained clearly, especially for someone like Song Meizi, who would feel uncomfortable if she didn't take advantage of others when she went out. It would be difficult for you to get any money from her. Bullshit. Don't even think about taking a single needle or thread from me. After hearing what Song Meizi said, Chen Shutong stopped pretending. They were going to fall out anyway. Grandma, what you said is not about taking it from you, but about you all leaving here. This house was built by Chen Dashan and his wife, and it should be left to Chen Chuyang and his sister. Naturally, it cannot be given so easily to these vampire-like family members. What? Song Meizi never thought that Chen Shutong could actually say such a thing. It was really outrageous. You damn little bitch, you were probably divorced by your in-laws and sent back home, so you're coveting my house. I tell you, you're dreaming. Even if I die, I will never leave here. Song Meizi began to curse. It's true that the barking dog never bites. Shisholian is the mastermind behind the scenes. Song Meizi gets furious when she says a few words. I have to say that she is smart. I have to say that she is much better than the original owner's hardworking mother in using Song Meizi. Then just give the money. Chen Shutong suddenly thought that giving money was not a bad idea and building a new one. I don't have money, and I don't have my life either. Song Meizi was determined to continue playing tricks to the end, and had no intention of giving in. After hearing her words, Shisholian felt a lot more relaxed. Anyway, with Song Meizi around, no matter how successful Chen Shutong was, it would be useless. The village chief is coming. Suddenly, the people guarding the door made way. When Song Meizi saw the village chief coming in, her anger didn't ease much. So what if he came? Could he eat her? However, Song Meizi was not afraid of the village chief despite her unreasonable behavior, but Shisholian was afraid. After all, their family of 3 still had a long time to live in this village, and they could not offend others easily. She gave Chen Shulin a look, and Chen Shulin slowly moved his small steps and returned to his room. Village Chief Liu. Chen Shutong greeted Village Chief Liu politely. HMPH, stop flattering me. It's useless. Song Meizi said angrily. She would not compromise anyway. After all, this little bitch should not even think about taking a single needle or thread from her. They all belong to her. Aunt Chen, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but if the older sister is willing to take these 2 children with her, you can just let them take them away. Why make such a big fuss? In fact, Village Chief Liu really didn't want to come here to cause trouble, because Song Meizi was simply an unreasonable person. Village Chief, look at what you said. If she is really so kind and only takes the 2 burdens away, there is nothing I cannot agree to. But now she not only wants the 2 burdens, but also this house. Tell me, I am so old, if I give it to them, will I have to sleep in the open air? Or should I stay at your house and give me a place to stay? Song Meizi's words made Village Chief Liu's face suddenly turn ugly. She was threatening me. If she wasn't satisfied and had nowhere to go, she would have to live in my house. Village Chief Liu, I am grateful that you are here today. We 3 siblings don't ask for anything but fairness. It's okay if they don't give us their house, but my parents have worked hard for this family for so many years, and finally passed away one by one. The money they earned was not spent on us, and the betrothal gift when I got married was also withheld by my grandmother. Chen Shutong spoke when she saw that the expression on Village Chief Liu's face changed slightly. Bullshit, how come you 3 haven't counted the money for food and drink for all these years? Song Meizi became unhappy when she heard Chen Shutong talking about the bride price. Once the money was in her pocket, it was impossible to take it out again. Food and drink cost money. Chen Shutong laughed when she heard these 4 words. What are you laughing at? Seeing Chen Shutong's sneer, Song Meizi frowned unhappily. Let's not talk about me, just talk about Yarn Yarn and Xiaoyu. These 2 children, who are so young, work day and night for the family, eat the least, and sleep the least. Look at their clothes, which are patched up with patches. Then look at Chen Qiulin, his clothes are brand new, it seems that there is not even a wrinkle. Apart from going to school, he just eats and drinks on weekdays. What has he done for the family? Hearing Chen Shutong's words, the two children, Chen Chuyang and Chen Chuyu, couldn't stop crying. God knows how these two children managed to hold on. They were beaten and scolded at every turn. It was common for Chen Qiulin to bully them, and Song Meizi and others turned a blind eye. Shutong, second aunt isn't criticizing you. This is a family matter. You can just solve it behind closed doors. You even alarmed the village chief. That's really wrong. How could your grandmother let you down? Shishio Lian spoke again. Oh? Really? Chen Shutong smiled, but her smile made Shishio Lian feel a little uneasy. Chapter 17. The two of you together make exactly 500, 250 as a couple. Mother Wu also remained stubborn and showed no intention of giving in. Lin Qianrui was also really shocked when Yang Caifeng pulled her up and told her to go to the police to report Wu Haixing for rape. Mom, stop making trouble. The marriage is already settled. It's not good for you to go back on your word like this. Lin Qianrui still doesn't realize the seriousness of the problem. At this moment, she is still dreaming about becoming rich by marrying Wu Haixing, and she doesn't want to wake up. So when she heard what Yang Caifeng said, she resisted from the bottom of her heart. He struggled out of her hands and subconsciously ran away 1 meter away. I was just worried that he would suddenly pull me out to report to the police. Are you going or not? Yang Caifeng got angry when she saw that she was so disobedient to her. He looked around, trying to find a suitable weapon, and made up his mind to give her a good beating. Mom, what's going on? Tell me. Lin Qianrui shouted irritably, if there is a problem, just solve it. Why do you have to make it so ugly? How are Haixing and I going to live in the future? Even at this moment, Lin Qianrui only has herself in her eyes and heart. Yang Caifeng was so sad that she sat on the ground and started wailing. If you want to cry, go to your parents' house. Aren't you ashamed to cry here? Lin Qianrui saw her crying so sadly and instead of comforting her, she felt disgusted. You silly girl, they said you were pregnant and they won't give you a betrothal gift, but they still want me to give you 100 yuan as a dowry. Why don't you just rob them? Even so, you still want to marry them. Are you crazy? He had already looked down on the Wu family, and now he hated them even more. What? Lin Qianrui never expected that the Wu family only knew the news now. I thought Wu Haixing had already told them, but now that he knows, he's going back on his word. How can this be possible? Thinking of this, Lin Qianrui immediately became unable to stand and wanted to go to the Wu family to find Wu Haixing to ask clearly. Stop right there. Seeing that she was about to go out, Yang Caifeng rushed over and blocked her way. Mom, stop making trouble. I want to go and find out clearly. I've told them that if they push their luck further, we'll report it to the police. Don't worry, that bitch won't dare to use Wu Haixing to gamble. What you have to do now is to behave yourself. Otherwise, you won't have a good life even if you marry into her family in the future. Lin Qianrui finally listened to her mother. If for no other reason, it was just so that I could hold my head up high in front of Wu's mother and the others in the future. If I follow their advice this time, I'm afraid that even if I marry them, they won't treat me well. Wu's mother is the kind of person who would suffer a loss if she didn't pick up money when she went out. Yang Caifeng finally breathed a sigh of relief when she saw that her daughter was not beyond help. But he also stayed with her day and night, and even came to sleep with her at night. Lin Fengnian had no opinion on this, and he didn't agree with it wholeheartedly. He was the one who was restraining himself. Wu's mother originally thought that Yang Caifeng was definitely trying to scare her, but she also asked her two younger sons to occasionally keep an eye on what was going on over there. As soon as breakfast was served, the youngest son rushed in and said that he saw Yang Caifeng and Lin Qianrui going to town on a ox cart. With a click sound, Wu Haixing's chopsticks fell directly to the ground, and he even looked at his mother with some resentment. Are you satisfied this time? Wu Haixing got angry and turned back to his room, lay on the kang and covered himself with a quilt. Seeing this, Wu's father was filled with sorrow. He puffed on his pipe and the smoke he was puffing out made Wu's mother very upset. You just smoke, smoke, and smoke. Sooner or later, I will smoke you to death. Mother Wu snatched the pipe from Father Wu's hand and threw it on the dining table angrily. She took off her apron, went into their house, got the money and went out. As for where they were going, it went without saying that they were definitely going to the town to stop someone. Originally, Yang Caifeng didn't want to go so early, but when she was pouring out the dirty water in the morning, she saw the youngest son of the Wu family. She made up her mind and took Lin Qianrui to the town. Originally, Lin Qianrui didn't want to go. Although she also wanted to take advantage of Wu's mother, she didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Otherwise, it would not only be the Wu family that would be embarrassed, but her own reputation would also be ruined. If you want to marry that loser, listen to me. Mom, why do you keep calling me trash? It's so ugly. If you marry him, you'll be a useless woman. The two of you together are exactly 500, and 250 for a couple. Yang Caifeng complained about her own daughter, leaving no room for her. I took her out for a splurge today and ate some wontons from a state-owned restaurant. Each wonton had a thin skin and big fillings. We each ate a big bowl and felt a little full. A bowl of wontons costs 90 cents, and 2 bowls cost 1.8 yuan. If it were in the past, Yang Caifeng would not have been willing to spend that money. Today I gritted my teeth and stomped my feet, walked into the restaurant with my eyes closed, and ordered the food with my eyes closed. Mom, it would be great if I could eat such delicious wontons every day. After eating and drinking their fill, the two of them even finished the last drop of the soup. When they left their house, Lin Qianrui still felt a little unsatisfied. Well, you married that loser, not to mention the wontons. The soup is only worthy of drinking soy sauce and water. As soon as Yang Caifeng opened her mouth, Lin Qianrui choked and felt a little full, burp. As the two of them were walking leisurely towards the Public Security Bureau, they ran into Wu's mother coming towards them. Wu's mother arrived at the Public Security Bureau earlier than them and waited at the door. I was extremely nervous, fearing that they had already gone to the police station to report the case, and also fearing that they were just trying to take advantage of me. When she saw the two of them arriving late, Wu's mother finally felt relieved. Mother-in-law, Qianrui, you two are in town. Mother Wu's awkward greeting and forced smile looked a little dry. There is no such relationship between our two families. Qianrui, come with Mom. I was beaten so badly by her yesterday that the bump on my head hasn't gone away yet. If you think you can forgive her so easily, you're dreaming. Aunt. Lin Qianrui simply greeted her lightly and continued walking forward with Yang Caifeng. I originally thought they were trying to scare me, but then I saw them walk into the gate of the Public Security Bureau. Mother Wu rushed over at lightning speed and stood in front of them. Mother-in-law, I was wrong about what happened yesterday. I came here with sincerity this time and waited for you specially just to buy a piece of cloth for Qianrui to make a dress. Mother Wu could not care about anything else at this time. She was worried that something might happen to her eldest son, so she had to lower her posture. Lin Qianrui never expected that there would be an unexpected gain. I glanced at my mother and secretly gave her a thumbs up. That's awesome. Yang Caifeng immediately became arrogant and said she should have listened to herself earlier. Chapter 18, It's just a piece of junk, how dare you ask for 88? However, Yang Caifeng did not back down after hearing a few nice words. Instead, she took a high-profile attitude. Let's call off the marriage between our two families, lest you think it's my daughter's fault in the future. That won't work. When Qianrui marries into our family in the future, she will be my own daughter. Upon hearing this, Wu's mother quickly expressed her opinion. Any step late is disrespectful to the money in your pocket. Finally, under the increasingly humble attitude of Wu's mother, Yang Caifeng and her daughter reluctantly started to wander around the town. She tore off a piece of red cloth, a piece of cloth with small floral patterns, and bought a pair of ready-made pants, spending 8 yuan. When it was almost noon, Yang Caifeng said she had to eat before going home. Upon hearing this, Wu's mother gritted her teeth and took them out of the restaurant. After ordering the dishes, Yang Caifeng said indifferently, Mother-in-law, it's not that we two adults are greedy, it's really that your grandson is hungry and can't wait. Don't mention my grandson, even if Qianrui wants to eat it, I would be willing to give it to her. I have already ordered it. Don't be angry, don't be angry. If you are angry, it is easy to not be able to eat. I spent the money, I can't let these mother and daughter get away with it. As for the so-called grandson, he hasn't been born yet, so who knows whether he is a boy or a girl. It's obvious that they are just greedy, but they like to find some high-sounding excuses. It's really ridiculous. The money was spent and the meal was eaten, so in Wu's mother's view, the matter was over. Unexpectedly, Yang Siphon, who was full and satisfied, had no intention of leaving. Mother-in-law, what are you not satisfied with? Just tell me. I will try my best as long as I can do it. Mother Wu thought that since she had already spent the majority of the money, she might as well make a small contribution. It would be better to get it done in one go to avoid any problems in the future. No, I'm quite satisfied. I'm especially happy to see your sincerity. In that case, let's just follow the crowd as for the bride price. We won't ask for much, just 88, for good luck. Yang Siphon spoke directly and almost petrified Wu's mother. 88? She has the nerve to open her mouth. It's just a piece of junk, and you have the nerve to ask for 88. Chen Rui, you and Haixing are in a free love relationship. The bride price is just a formality. It is more important to live your life sincerely. What do you think? Mother Wu knew that it was not easy to do anything to Yang Siphon, so she had to change her strategy. He wanted to ease the pressure of the sky-high bride price through Chen Rui. That's right, 88 yuan is a sky-high price for the Wu family, and they simply can't afford that much money. Aunt, I will take this betrothal gift back to use for my life with Haixing. Just like you said, it's just a formality. When Mother Wu heard what Lin Qianrui said, she knew that if she didn't agree to the betrothal gift, it would not work. Yang Siphon glanced at her daughter. This was her daughter. For a man, such a worthless thing happened. It's annoying no matter how I look at it. Fortunately, she now understands the situation clearly and can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, then I'll go back and collect the money. On their way back, the ox cart he took was all paid for by Wu's mother. Yang Siphon and her daughter returned home like victorious hens, while Wu's mother was dejected, as if she had been bullied. We met many villagers along the way, and they started to talk about various things, and a new topic of conversation was born. Lin Jinyao saw the two men coming back in a very proud and heroic manner. Their postures were somewhat funny. Jinyao, I'm getting married soon. Lin Qianrui, who had previously been a little timid in saying that she had little contact with Wu Haixing, now started to stop pretending. Isn't it settled? Lin Jinyao seemed not to understand the provocation in her words. Lin Qianrui took a look and saw that she looked like she didn't care at all. She must be pretending. Aunt gave me 88 yuan as a betrothal gift. I thought it was just a formality and there was no need for so much, but she thought I was worth that much. Lin Qianrui felt that he could finally hold his head up in front of her. The Ji family would definitely not be willing to spend so much money to marry her. This amount of dowry is considered a lot in the village. Yeah, that's right. After all, pork has to be bought by the kilogram, not to mention you, a living person. Lin Jinyao nodded in agreement, and then gave her a thumbs up. You are worth the price. Lin Qianrui wanted to refute, but the other person left. She got very angry when she saw her nonchalant and indifferent look. Okay, live your life well in the future and don't let others look down on you. That's better than anything else. Yang Siphon's good mood disappeared when she saw her unwilling look. As soon as Lin Jinyao walked out of the door, she ran into Wu Haixing, who was coming towards her in anger. It seems that Wu's mother went home to complain. After all, asking the Wu family to pay so much for the betrothal gift would undoubtedly be a huge blow. Jinyao, you, go out. Wu Haixing walked up to Lin Jinyao, and his face smiled as if by magic, and he even took the initiative to say hello. It was completely different when he was with Lin Qianrui. Go to town with my boyfriend. Lin Jinyao pointed behind him. When Wu Haixing turned around, he met Ji Xingrui's unfathomable gaze. He subconsciously moved aside to make room for Lin Jinyao. Seeing the two of them walking side by side in a loving manner, Wu Haixing felt infinite regret in his heart. I have been wandering around with girls for so long, but I am entangled by Lin Qianrui. Just thinking about it makes me feel very annoyed. Lin Jinyao said it was in the town, but that was just a lie to deceive Wu Haixing. She and Ji Xingrui were going to the back mountain, because Ji Xingrui said that he wanted to set traps in the mountain and hunt some meat, so she became interested. When going up the mountain, Ji Xingrui led the way in front, and she held onto the corner of his clothes tightly and followed behind him. If anything goes wrong, run towards the tree. Don't run back, okay? Ji Xingrui warned Lin Jinyao while waving a sickle to cut off the dense grass in front of him. Good. For Su Xinran, who had no hunting experience, she was like a curious baby, following Ji Xingrui around and running around. Although she couldn't help much, she took on all the small tasks. A total of 4 traps were set, and there would be no gains for the time being, so Ji Xingrui said he would take her to a fun place. After turning many turns, Lin Jinyao, who had completely forgotten the way she came, could only continue walking with Ji Xingrui. Just when she was almost unable to walk, she came to a stream where fish were swimming in groups. Ji Xingrui used a sickle to sharpen the wooden stick he picked up, and then stood on the shore to start fishing. Basically, he caught 1 fish at a time and threw it directly onto the shore. He caught 10 fish before he stopped. We simply built a fire and grilled some fish. This was the first time Lin Jinyao had eaten such a primitive way of eating, and she thought it would not taste good. Unexpectedly, Ji Xingrui also brought salt. As the branches burned, the aroma of the grilled fish slowly spread. Chapter 19. I felt inexplicably restless. The grilled fish is very fresh. It reminds me of a saying from later generations: high-end ingredients are often cooked using the simplest methods. For example, the fish in front of you is not very delicious, but it is indeed tasty. After grilling 2 strips, Ji Xingrui asked her to take the remaining ones home to eat and replenish her body. Lin Jinyao originally wanted to refuse, but after thinking it over again, she agreed, but asked him to come over in the evening. At night, Ji Xingrui became inexplicably agitated when he heard these 2 words. Before dinner. Okay. Ji Xingrui didn't know what she was going to do, but she said it and he listened. When I was going down the mountain, I saw a lot of mushrooms. I picked some edible ones and threw them into my small bamboo basket. When Yang Caifeng woke up, she heard some noise coming from the kitchen. When I walked in, I saw so much fish meat. Yang Caifeng's eyes lit up, but when she saw the shiny kitchen knife in Lin Jinyao's hand, she was somewhat discouraged. Jinyao, why are there so many fish? My boyfriend sent it to me. As soon as Lin Jinyao answered, Yang Caifeng felt her heart bleeding. If Lin Qinrui hadn't been so useless and fallen for that loser, I would be the one cleaning the fish in the kitchen now. You and Ji Xingrui went around town, and he didn't just give you these fish and meat, did he? At this moment, Lin Qinrui's voice rang out, her tone full of sarcasm. It is said that the Ji family is better off than the Wu family, at least they should buy you some clothes or something. Qianrui, how can you talk like that? It's a good thing that your in-laws value you, but that doesn't mean everyone can do it. Yang Caifeng pretended to scold Lin Qianrui. The mother and daughter sang in unison, which seemed a bit funny. Well, what you said makes sense. Lin Jinyao nodded in agreement. Jinyao, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but you see I don't want it, but Aunt Wu bought me cloth and automatically added money to the betrothal gift. Lin Qianrui was showing off between the lines. He didn't say a word about Wu Haixin coming to his house not long ago. How much do the Wu family give as a dowry? But like you said, they value you so much, 188. As soon as Lin Jinyao opened her mouth, Lin Qianrui was dumbfounded. She really dares to say that. The key is that she dares to say it, but I don't dare to respond. The Wu family gritted their teeth and agreed to the 88 yuan. 188 yuan is almost enough to exchange for a wife. Jin Yao, your idea is not acceptable. In marriage, what matters is the thought. It's useless to ask for so much. Yang Caifeng hurriedly tried to smooth things over. This damn girl, if you don't know how to speak, then don't speak. Jin Yao, what are you doing? It smells so good. Because Lin Fengnian spoke, the oil, salt, sauce, vinegar and other things in the house were no longer put away. Although Yang Caifeng was unwilling, she did not dare to go against Lin Fengnian's wishes. So, no matter what Lin Jinyao makes, she wants to have a bite of it, otherwise it would be a waste. Of course, it is basically impossible to get it, but the idea is getting stronger and it is starting to get out of control. Fish. Lin Jinyao answered seriously. Yang Caifeng, I didn't know you were cooking fish. Mom, let's go wash clothes. Jinyao will call us when we're done. Lin Qianrui couldn't stand this damn atmosphere. It was too embarrassing. Her own mother acted as if she had never had such a meal before and took the initiative to talk to Lin Jinyao, but she didn't want it. Lin Jinyao ignored their shamelessness. After they left the kitchen, the space felt a lot bigger. When the boiled fish was out of the pot, it was divided into a large portion and a small portion. The remaining 2 fish were placed in a basin of water. Ji Xingrui arrived at the right time, and Lin Jinyao directly gave him a large portion of boiled fish. He also refused, wanting her to eat more. Lin Jinyao showed him the portion she had kept, and he left with the boiled fish. The fragrance filled the air along their way, and many people who smelled it would ask about it. Ji Xingrui did not hide it and said that his girlfriend did it. When he got home, Ji Xingrui took out the vegetable basket in his hand, picked up the plate covering it, and saw the big bowl full of vegetables and meat. It was so delicious that he couldn't help but swallow his saliva before he even ate it. "Let's have rice tonight." Mother Ji waved her hand and went directly to the kitchen to cook rice. "Mom, let me light the fire." Ji Weiman smelled the fragrance and couldn't sit still anymore, so he ran to the kitchen to help. "Third brother, come and eat with me today." Just then, the eldest brother Ji Guoqiang came back from outside carrying a piece of pork belly. He usually worked as a carpenter in the town, and his salary was paid once a month. Today happened to be the day when the salary was paid, so he thought of inviting Ji Xingrui to come and eat as well. "Brother, Mom is done here and won't come over." Ji Guoqiang, as the eldest brother, has always been impeccable. "Okay, your sister-in-law will make it and send you a bowl in a while." Ji Guoqiang didn't force him and went back to his room. Soon, Feng Cuizui, the eldest sister-in-law of the Ji family, started to make a fire and cook. It was hot now, and although the families had separated, they still shared a kitchen. "Mom, you guys can have dinner later. I'll cook some meat and let you try it later." Feng Cuizui was a very capable person and she never looked unhappy. "But at the same time, I am a very serious person and I want everything to be fair. So in the past few years, I have had many fights with the second son's wife. He is definitely a good person at home and outside, but his bad word is that he speaks too seriously and sometimes it is hard for people to accept what he says. As a family lives together, even the 5 fingers are of different lengths, let alone children. The old couple couldn't stand the quarrel, so they just separated the property, and then the situation calmed down. Occasionally, when they improved their meals, they would send some to the older couple, which was actually better off than the second brother and his wife. "Sister-in-law, Mom, are you guys cooking?" At this time, the second daughter-in-law, Yang Shuyan, came in carrying a basket of vegetables, followed by her youngest son, Ji Yingxin, who is 6 years old this year. "Hello grandma, hello aunt, hello uncle." Ji Yingxin greeted them obediently. Compared with Yang Shuyan's carefree personality, it was amazing that she was able to raise such a good child. "All I can say is, good shoots come out of bad bamboo. Good boy, come over and eat meat with your sister later." Although she didn't like Yang Shuyan, the child was innocent after all, and the little guy was lovable. Feng Cuizui was also particularly gentle when speaking to him. As for the child's mother, stay away from her. "Mom, sister-in-law, your meal today is so delicious. It's good to separate the family and eat better," Yang Shuyan said while peeling potatoes. The tone was a little sour, but they were used to it. After all, this kind of scene has happened more than once or twice since the family split up. Every time she wants to eat something delicious, she wishes she could go over with her whole family to eat for free. If you work hard, you can eat well. Ji's mother never indulges her greedy and lazy second daughter-in-law. Chapter 20: A dog who likes to bit his tail. After Lin Fengnian returned home, he washed his hands and ate with his daughter. When he heard that it was the fish sent by Ji Xingrui, he nodded with satisfaction. "It's a good thing to value your daughter. Nan, your cooking skills are as good as your mother's." While eating boiled fish, Lin Fengnian seemed to be lost in memories, and the way he maintained this look for such a long time surprised Lin Jinyao. "He actually ate it. How could that be? But you don't control the heat as well as your mother. The boiled fish should be cooked a little more tenderly. Yours is a little too hot." Lin Fengnian gave a fair evaluation. Lin Jinyao was a little dumbfounded. He actually knew this dish, called boiled fish. "Dad, I didn't expect you to be such an expert. But this is my first time making this too. I'll try harder next time." "That's right. Your mother just liked to think about food. Life was hard back then, but she was always able to come up with different ways to make all kinds of delicious food." Lin Fengnian recalled the past with regret. A meal that was eaten with tears in one's eyes. The other one couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. "I was afraid that my identity as a fake would be exposed, but luckily I was safe. Cough cough. Before I could clean up the dishes, I smelled a burnt smell and heard coughing sounds. When Lin Fengnian and Lin Jinyao walked into the kitchen, they saw flames rising into the sky. Yang Caifeng and Lin Qianrui, mother and daughter, were standing in the yard, coughing violently, cough cough. Lin Fengnian didn't care about them. The father and daughter picked up buckets of water and then rushed to the fire in the kitchen. The power of two people seemed particularly insignificant in the face of the fire. "Oh, what are you talking about?" Aunt Niu rushed over and joined the firefighting operation. After carrying a few buckets, Lin Jinyao felt her arms were a little sore, especially her wrists, which felt very painful. But he couldn't take care of it at the moment, because at this moment the four brothers of the Ji family also ran over. Ji Xingrui directly took the bucket from Lin Jinyao's hand and said, "Stay away, don't get hurt." Seeing her blushing face, he reminded her softly. The neighbors around also took basins, buckets and other things to help put out the fire. With strength in numbers, the fire gradually died down, but the kitchen was also burned to ashes, and then it collapsed with a loud bang. Old Lin. At this moment, Yang Caifeng was like an angry young wife. She came to Lin Fengnian timidly, with a flattering tone in her voice. Lin Qianrui was still a little frightened. If they had tea escaped just now, then. She broke out in a cold sweat just thinking about it. When I looked up, I saw Wu Haixing standing in the crowd. When did he stand there? Didn't anyone tell me to come in and help put out the fire? Lin Qianrui felt a little disappointed. Is this really the man she wants to marry? Following her gaze, the sharp-eyed ones also saw Wu Haixing, and then they started to discuss in a low voice, saying that the four brothers of the Ji family had all gone out, but why didn't Wu Haixing and his brothers show up? Lao Lin, are you okay? At this time, Ji's father also rushed over. Ji Xingrui explained that the old couple had just gone out with them, and halfway through the journey, Ji's mother got anxious and sprained her ankle. So Ji's father sent the person back, which is why he came back so late. I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't cause any trouble to my neighbors. I'm relieved. This was indeed what Father Lin was thinking at the moment. Thank you all for your help today. Lin Fengnian was very grateful for this. When the fire was out, the people dispersed. Wu Haixing looked towards the place where Lin Jinyao was standing reluctantly, but before he could take a closer look, he was blocked by Ji Xingrui. And he had no intention of moving away. Instead, he felt that Ji Xingrui was a bit annoying. What are you looking at? Lin Jinyao saw Ji Xingrui staring at one place and subconsciously looked over. But he was blocked by Ji Xingrui, who moved sideways. A dog that likes to bite its own tail has already run away. Wu Haixing heard it. Every word fell into his ears. Because the kitchen was almost burned out and it was getting dark, Ji Xingrui and the others went back first, saying they would come over tomorrow to help clean up. Old Ji, thank you. We are all family, why be polite? Come back tomorrow. Father Ji left with his four sons. Before leaving, Ji Xingrui took out a handful of candies from his pocket and stuffed them into Lin Jinya's hand. Yang Caifeng and Lin Qianrui have been busy all day long and haven't eaten a single bite of food yet. Their stomachs are rumbling with hunger. There's still some left in the room, you guys. Even though Lin Fengnian was angry, he couldn't bear to see the two of them like this. But before he could finish his words, the mother and daughter rushed into the room and started eating. Dad, sweet mouth. Lin Jinyao peeled a candy and fed it directly into his mouth. Nan, Dad doesn't like it, so you can eat it. The moment the candy entered her mouth, the milky aroma slid directly down the tip of her tongue. She was afraid that she would give it back, so she hurriedly said that she didn't like it. Who doesn't like to eat anything? I have some here. Brother Rui gave me a big handful. Lin Jinyao knew that he was reluctant to give it up, so she peeled one and put it in her mouth. It's true that although the sugar of that era did not have the various styles of later generations, its taste was really good and full of milk flavor. Xingrui is a good kid. Today he saw Wu Haixing standing in the crowd and not coming out to help. Instead, the boys from the Ji family were doing their best. People are not afraid of comparison, but are afraid of encountering trouble. Today, this happened. Dad, being safe is better than anything else. Just think of it as losing money to avoid disaster. Lin Jinyao was very open-minded about this. Yes, Nan is right. Lin Fengnian comforted himself in this way. Yang Caifeng and her daughter, who were full, were reluctant to come out after eating, mainly because they didn't know how to face Lin Fengnian. After all, they were greedy and burned the whole kitchen. Yang Saifeng was so nervous until she went to bed that she found out that Lin Fengnian didn't say a word to her. This time, I couldn't bear it anymore. Lao Lin, why don't you just scold me? Yang Saifeng, who was tossing and turning in sleep, took the initiative to bring it up. Okay, go to sleep. Lin Fengnian had no intention of scolding anyone today. But the more he did this, the more uneasy Yang Saifeng became. On the other side, Lin Qinrui had just entered the house when she was hugged from behind. She was so scared that she was about to scream, but someone turned her over and covered her mouth. Lin Qinrui was trembling with fear. Don't make any noise, it's me. Hearing the familiar voice, Lin Qinrui nodded stiffly to indicate that she understood. Chapter 21, From Pangu's Creation of the World to Family Planning. After the man let go of her hand, Lin Qinrui stepped on him angrily. Ouch! The other party felt pain but did not dare to cry out. Ouch, little girl, are you trying to crush me to death? Wang Jianxi lowered his voice, walked up to her and coaxed her softly. You were the one who scared me first. Lin Qinrui didn't think it was her fault at all. I still regretted not stepping on him to death. Wang Jianxi sneaked in late at night not to make her angry. Are you really going to get married? What else? Lin Qinrui found his words a little funny. The baby in your belly is mine, mine. So. Lin Qian. Wang Ling picked up Tang Li's hand, and she lay on his shoulder aggrievedly. Woo woo, master. They bullied me. LV Zhongqian did not speak, but only looked outside. Although it was sunset outside, the sunlight was dazzling and the air was scorching. The ground was steaming with heat. Waves of heat blew in with the breeze, making people feel like they were being roasted in a furnace. In the past, I have never seen such beings. They have only appeared in recent years. Then their appearance may be some kind of revelation from the divine realm, guiding the direction of the human world. Oh, who knows? The grey-clothed man next to her looked at her in disbelief, tears welling up in his eyes. What did you just say? His voice trembled and he was more nervous than ever before. My name is Zhou Qiancheng. From now on, I will protect you. He said word by word, patted Zhang Xiaoyi's face thinking he was very stylish, and turned around and left without any hesitation. After a while, Lin Zhangqian opened his eyes, the deep blue disappeared. Lin Zhangqian looked up at the moon, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised. The old man was drunk and a little drowsy, so Nangong Chishi helped him to the bed to rest. Lin Zhangqian was calm and composed. He smiled and clasped his fists, which was considered a greeting and farewell from a heroic figure in the martial arts world. Damn it! According to my usual nature, I was most afraid of him opening his mouth. When I heard his bad mouth, I quickly stopped him from continuing, but it was too late. As soon as he finished speaking, I could clearly hear the low, murmuring roars of the faceless corpses behind me. After the prince returned to his residence, he directly ordered his subordinates to stop all plans. As his order was passed down, all his subordinates' plans were stopped. However, because the Great Chu Empire has not paid enough attention to science and technology in recent decades, the technological level of the Great Chu Empire has fallen behind many countries in the world. Without a doubt, the boy poured out the soup, scooped new water from the water tank, put it on the stove again, and planned to cook a new pot of glutinous rice balls with fermented rice wine. On the afternoon of February 20, 1915, Russia officially announced its unconditional surrender to the Chinese Empire. All Russian troops would give up resistance and hand over their weapons to the nearest Chinese Empire troops. The ball was thrown into the sky, and the legs and hands were raised. The pupils turned and locked onto the figure on the opposite side. With the corner of his mouth curled up, a cold smile gradually blossomed on his face, and he took out a tennis ball from his purse. Therefore, this plan was already decided from the beginning, rather than Ji Roland's impromptu decision to hold an advertising conference after the interview and performance. Until a moment ago, Bai Lan suddenly felt flustered, a little upset, and couldn't calm down, so she gave up regulating her breathing, got up and left the room, and went to the next room. After a long time, words as cold as frost slowly slipped out from Ying Yi's slightly thin lips. She placed the teacup on the low table, raised her head slightly, and looked at Heimu with her dark red eyes. Without the gamma energy shield he relied on, there would be no place for him to hide in the entire Neuschwanstein castle. It was a face he could never imagine, a face he would never forget. His mind went blank for a moment. He lost all composure, unable to function, he could only mutter and shout subconsciously. Father. A surge of sword energy, like a tide, like a wave, rushed towards him. Chapter 22. This is my biological father, my biological father. I can't change him. I can't change him. Father G not only did not object to Lin Fengnian's words, but nodded in agreement. It is indeed a bargain for my third son. Ji Xinrui, this is my biological father, my biological father. I can't change him. I can't change him. At this time, Yang Caifeng and her daughter had already started a food-grabbing competition with the people from the Wu family. If they were not careful, the plates would be empty, making it impossible for them to defend themselves. The engagement dinner was disrupted by the Wu family, and it seemed a bit shabby. In the end, the Wu family's children, who were not full, ran directly to the table instead of pouncing on their food like a hungry tiger. But just standing there and staring at them quietly was also quite creepy. Finally, Lin. Just like the Taoist son of Taoism, the demon son of the demon sect, and the holy son of the black market, there is always more than one. Now that most of it has been sold, Lin Wana naturally knows that her father is reluctant to part with it, so she asks who the buyer is and decides to buy it back when she has money. Their Xiao family is no longer the great family in the holy land of ancient times. Even after so many years of recuperation and development, the family is thriving and has many talented people, but it is still far from being as powerful as it used to be. My uncle has restored Ling Yu's academic status. He said that it was an order issued personally by the mayor. Ji Yu Chuanyan's face turned pale. He didn't expect that Ling Yu had the mayor's support behind him. The 8 guys who suddenly appeared were also wearing black robes, and the leader was a middle-aged man over 50 years old. The other villagers also saw it, but they didn't know Chen Ermiao and had never seen him, so they all had questions. Quanzhuan Wang was a second-class emperor, whose cultivation had reached the second realm of the immortal divine emperor. Yet he was successfully ambushed by Di Jiang? The door suddenly opened, and the 2 people who had walked in chatting and laughing were both stunned when they saw this scene. The fat man blocked him with his shield and at the same time chopped him down with a machete. The shopkeeper also witnessed what happened just now. He quickly winked at the servants in the corner who were about to take action against Qin Jun. Sai Eater looked up and saw 2 young men striding towards him. They were very imposing, and one of them was strong and muscular, as if he had endless strength. After finishing this, Chen Wanrong and Wang Xiaohua went straight to the Military Equipment Bureau. Because of Princess Taiping's reasons, he didn't go yesterday. Chen Wanrong was always worried about her. He went out and rode his horse in a hurry. I'll take you there. Li Qingchuan respected Chen Wanrong very much. Even though he was staggering from drunkenness, he still insisted on taking Chen Wanrong there. In this world, murderers and soldiers are 2 different concepts, and ordinary soldiers and a noble lord's private guards are 2 concepts that cannot be compared. They are completely different in status and treatment, and they are different in the degree of respect for personality. The Xiong sisters had no choice but to support each other as they went down the stairs. After all, Xiong Longyu had already told them that she was unwell. If they could still jump down the stairs in good spirits, they would be contradicting themselves. Thank you, sir. Xie Qi was very grateful, but he didn't know what to say, so he just bowed repeatedly. Young master, you were too impulsive yesterday. This is not General Yuan Sai's fault. Lord Cao did issue this military order. Seeing Cao Chong wake up, Zhu Buyi handed him a glass of water for him to rinse his mouth, while explaining. After the fall of Hugo, the troops that Hugo had sent abroad returned to their own country. Instead of returning to the army, they were disbanded on the spot so that they could return home and reunite with their families. After sending Nanixing away, Jinxi called Dailan and told her his plan. Seeing that she had no objection and even looked faintly happy, he knew that she was satisfied with his arrangement, so he felt relieved. Those horrible and disgusting undead insects, as if they had met their nemesis, gathered together in a black cloud in a panic and fled hastily towards the land of death. Jack is Zhu Barji. Look at his nostrils, they are turned up sharply, just like a pig's nose. Jiang Hongyu said. The upper lip scales of this reticulated python have sunken lip pits. There are 3 black fine lines on the head, one in the middle of the head, and the other 2 extending from the eyes to the corners of the mouth. The back of the body is grey-brown, and the markings are black-brown. Chapter 23, their mouths should be locked up for a while longer. The next day, Ji Xinrui took Lin Jinyao up the mountain, mainly to see if there were any unexpected gains in the trap. Here, Yang Caifeng's conciliatory policy failed, so she thought of approaching from another aspect. No matter what, when my daughter gets married, it must be a grand occasion. So, she set her sights on Lin Jinyao. While no one was at home, he quietly ran to Lin Jinyao's room and began to search it quietly. As a result, I searched all the places where I could hide the money, but I couldn't find her betrothal gift. In such a short time, she must not have spent it. With this in mind, I continued to search seriously. Halfway through the book, Lin Jinyao came back. In a hurry, Yarn Cai. This girl is a very difficult one. I really can't understand why your teammates have been hanging out with her until now. You are all good friends and besties. Yua looks like a kawaii girl, very cute. I couldn't help but ask her one more question. In Xianyu Villa, Nangong Yu looked at the information in his hand, and did not forget to glance at Bai Yu below with disdain. After being hit on the head by Zhu Qian, the puppet's eyes, which were shining with a faint light, dimmed instantly, and then it collapsed to the ground like mud. After hearing what Xie Li said, the expressions of the senior members of the Zhu family changed, because Zhu Kuan's strength of the 12th gate of the condensation vein realm was kept as a family secret and was strictly forbidden to be spread outside. But now Xie Li knew about it. Could it be that there was a traitor in the family, and a senior member at that? Chen Yin shook her head. It didn't seem like that. Did she come here for beauty treatment? Did she get some money recently? This venomous snake could be very troublesome. Har har, I'm just afraid of disturbing your practice. If I keep looking for you every now and then, maybe your cultivation level will be much lower than it is now. Zhu Feng seemed to have returned to the hippie Zhu Feng of the past. With his smile, the atmosphere suddenly became a lot more relaxed. It's not that I can't beat you, I just had diarrhea recently and had an upset stomach. I came here in a hurry today and forgot to go to the toilet. I feel uncomfortable inside and can't perform at my usual level 10. How about I go to the toilet and come back to fight with you? King Kuei said to Yang Wu unconvinced. The peach pits must be dried in the sun for 49 days, and then ground into powder. Peach is the essence of the 5 elements, which can drive away ghosts and evil spirits. Peach pits are the essence of the peach tree, which is its seed. After absorbing the essence of the sun, moon and heaven, and then ground into powder, it can restrain zombies. This is what he scattered just now. Therefore, the birds, Jiang and dragon tribes fought each other. Of course, there were also people from the Jiang and dragon tribes who supported that Yin Yin was not a spy, but the number of people supporting her was less, so the chaos remained. Now, the true energy in Zhu Qian's body is not only inexhaustible, but is also increasing rapidly. He is not afraid of wasting it on this meridian. He wants to see how long this damn meridian can last. Because Cameron personally traveled around the world to persuade theater giants and producers in various countries to build more 3D giant screens. Chinan was stunned, then looked at Moryu and smiled. Sure enough, he is the assistant I chose. He has his own ideas. Very good, very good. Not only did the combat residents have a great harvest, but the auxiliary residents were also in great demand, especially those who could improve their combat effectiveness in a short period of time. During this period, the gold coins collected for each use were as high as 10. Just when none of the 4 of us could convince anyone else, Zhang Jinder quietly pulled me aside and whispered, "Boss Shen, don't you think there is something wrong with Wang Haiyan?" At this moment, a hand suddenly stretched out from the coffin and grabbed the edge of the coffin. Suddenly, my heart calmed down. I would rather be eaten by the Zongzi than be scared to death. Today I will see the true face of this 1000-year-old Zongzi. But unfortunately, Thunder's body does not have any enhancement on the defense. Only the law of heaven and earth can enhance it. Therefore, compared with the strength and speed, the defense appears so weak. Even though he always tells everyone, just play around, the computer is just sitting there anyway. In the eyes of those who are concerned, there must be something fishy going on. Chapter 24 is just annoying. Be it Wu Haixing or the Wu family, Yang Caifeng never had a positive attitude towards them from beginning to end. But her daughter was blinded by her own greed, and no matter how much she talked, it was of no use. Next time I'll be the first to run. Get out. Yang Caifeng felt a little sad when she heard her daughter say that, and kept pushing her. This directly annoyed Lin Qianrui, and she walked out angrily. Yang Caifeng moved her body and looked outside. Just then, he saw Lin Fengnian looking up at him, and he turned his head away guiltily. After a long while, Yang Xifen finally staggered out, because both legs were numb and she couldn't stand. Tears dripped onto their vast grassland. At that moment, Mingtian's soul, paralyzed by alcohol, felt a slight pain. Sister, you must not be bewitched by the monster. Even a great monster will use such means to fool their people. They are all cruel and ruthless people. Don't trust them easily. Shuan on the side interjected. Then, I saw a plate of something white, large chunks of something I didn't know what kind of meat it was, and it was covered with a lot of red and green pickled peppers. Ling Jie took the suitcase and walked to the closet. He took out the clothes one by one and hung them up, but they were all placed close to one side, leaving half of the space free. Jiang Ling then retracted his gaze. Do you believe me when I say it wasn't me? Believe it or not, it really wasn't me. When I turned myself in, I found that they were already inside. We looked at each other and knew that we were deliberately trapped in one fell swoop. Although the bed was soft, Yunmushi was still dizzy due to the excessive force. Stars flickered in front of his eyes. Before he could recover, a solid body pressed down on him. Used 10 certificates of great deeds to condense into a certificate of great deeds, used a great dispersal to send all the time travelers back to their own era. In exchange, Mingqian will collect all their research technology to break through the gate of Jiankang. After the Eastern Ghost Emperor finished speaking, everyone turned their eyes to King Qin Guang. This heavy pressure made King Qin Guang a little overwhelmed. Li Mu took the two of them and walked around the temple, but they couldn't find the way to the demon abyss. Guiyang County had a population of nearly 600,000. Due to years of war, many civilians became refugees and fled south for refuge. There are all kinds of rumors, ranging from private behavior to despicable means used by the company. Some say he gave it, some say he is bisexual, and some say that overseas terrorist organizations are secretly supported by Hama Company and provided with arms. Har har, Junior Sister Yao, what other big things are happening in the sect? Gui Bao didn't want to respond to this and asked again. Seeing the two men avoiding him, Ba Tuorfen waved his hands repeatedly, and saw wind blades coming towards them. The two men were in midair with nowhere to gain leverage, and in a few moments their bodies were covered with wounds. Du Shu did not delay and immediately took Wang Shen's letter and rowed alone across the Fu River, heading all the way to Anlu. Draw the water of the Styx to create an undercurrent. Mi Zhu saw the tumbling river water in front of her and blurted out a scene of evil spirits that she had learned about from the Kunlun classics. Jiang Nian tried to stop her, but Lin Yuzhen finally went to the butcher's house and bought a pound of meat to cook. The kitchen was filled with the aroma of meat, which slowly drifted to the village. People with sharp noses had already smelled the fragrance and came over. After all, they were the elite troops under Prime Minister Zhang. After the initial panic, the religious protection team finally restored some order. Dozens of enemy troops plus the officials of the Pseudo-Chu dynasty who had fled to the back and were on duty tonight had put on heavy armor and gathered in a group at the back garden of Prime Minister Zhang's bedroom, resisting step by step. In this way, they chased us all the way and were very difficult to deal with. As for what happened in Anning City, fellow Daoist Lingyan already knew about it. Gui Bao briefly recounted the process again, omitting many things in the middle, and then answered. Gui Bao nodded. After all, he was disguised as a dark-complexioned cultivator and was wearing very ordinary clothes. So it was not surprising that he was mistaken for a casual cultivator. Moreover, casual cultivators were not necessarily bad. He then asked the white-robed shopkeeper to buy the 10,000-year ice fruit. Chapter 25 Dam, the wild boar has become a spirit. Wu Haixing fanned the flames and told the villagers when he met them that Lin Jinyao had lost her way in the mountains and the Lin family was looking for her frantically, so they asked him to ask everyone for help. Upon hearing this, the villagers put down what they were doing and helped go up the mountain to look for people. Lin Qianrui rushed over at this time, and was chilled to see Wu Haixing's crazy look. I have never seen him like this before. What are you still standing there for? Why don't you go find your sister? Wu Haixing glared at Lin Qianrui in order to make the matter more realistic. Qianrui, didn't your sister come home? Before Lin Qianrui could move, she heard the villagers' concerned greetings from behind. Lin Qianrui turned around subconsciously to answer. Li Lingyi watched the two people leave, his face darkened slightly, and he thought to himself that the intuition of this Xinhu Wushu was really terrifyingly accurate. The calamity of conferred gods is extremely mysterious and unpredictable. No one knows what will happen. Even the quasi-saints with great supernatural powers will die. Although Rong is extremely reluctant, there is nothing he can do. So Li Lingyi simply suppressed his own strength and showed a level comparable to Qiandao. Then after a battle of equal physical skills, Qiandao suddenly used the Wanxing Qianyin, and at the same time, he had a black list in his hand. Timuxin felt that the main reason why Li Muyang jumped into the water was because he didn't want to lose to Chuzun and didn't want to kowtow to Chuzun. Timuxin put all the responsibility on himself. If he had just obtained the gem, he would definitely not be able to move such a large object. But now, with his daily practice, he has no problem transporting these trucks. In contrast, among the 5 defeated Inoue men, except Yi Jin who woke up on the spot and was not seriously injured, the other 4 would be unable to get out of bed for more than half a month based on their injuries. Even though Long Fei possessed a spiritual power that was unmatched by ordinary people, he did not dare to easily create too many shadow clones, as it would disperse his own strength and be dangerous. Of course, he did not have that much chakra to share. However, Long Fei, who was still troubled by these trivial matters, seemed unaware that the place for practice he chose at random had actually crashed into a complex vortex. Brother Yuezhi, why did you think of sending medicinal materials to the troops this time? Wang Shen asked with a smile. Sun Yu's camp suddenly moved eastward, heading towards Fukangen's camp, but did not reach Fukangen's camp. Instead, they stopped 50 miles away from Fukangen's camp. More than 100,000 troops deployed their troops and stationed there. After a long time, a gleam of light flashed in Mark's eyes, which bounced the other person's gaze away, and then he looked at them with a smile. More than a month passed in a flash, and when the 6 people stood at the edge of the border fog that had become very thin, no one knew that in just over a month, Mark had made great progress in the rules of the water system. Li Ji seized the opportunity and stabbed Gauden's abdomen with his long sword. This move was very particular, as the long sword had to be stabbed straight in before the enemy's sledgehammer came down. If it was on the battlefield, it would have killed the enemy directly. As for what to do, Liu Pan, as the author, could naturally guess something, and it was almost certainly the thing he asked Liu Kuang to do. After all, the old man was not completely sure that Liu Kuang could complete that task. Just when Luffy and the others were at a loss, the elevator sealed with sea stone began to emit purple smoke. They slept in earth pits and ate sand melons. Apart from the melon badgers that liked to harm sand melons, Zhao Yun and his companions had basically no natural enemies. Rules are rules. Do you want to break the rules set by your father? Ul looked at Larry sarcastically and waved his hand triumphantly. More than a dozen armored guards behind him immediately stepped forward and surrounded Dumar and Mark. Then, powerful trumpets sounded, and more drums beat in unison on all sides. The Parthian heavy-armored cavalry began to charge. Chu Qinchin's face flushed and she felt dizzy, her mind was in a mess. She bit her lips tightly and counted 1, 2, 3 in her heart. She thought that when she counted to 10, she would use smoke to knock Johns out regardless of the consequences, and she could deal with the future later. Chapter 26. It can't be that love turns into hate. I thought that this would send the wild boar directly to reincarnation. As it turned out, the other person had extremely strong mental strength, and even so, he had no intention of compromising. Even though blood was flowing from his neck, he was still determined to fight Ji Xingrui to the death. Ji Xingrui fought with it several times, and finally rode on it, delivering a fatal blow. The wild boar was dead. Ji Xingrui ran towards the place where the wolf was howling, but Lin Jinyao didn't dare to go down. Because if I go with her, I will probably become a burden to her. However, she still climbed down the tree and covered the wolf blood and pig blood with soil to avoid attracting other ferocious beasts. Lin Jinyao. The leader continued to walk and shout, not noticing the man lying in the dark. Of course, Kader didn't dare to act rashly with the strength he had alone. He saw with his own eyes how the extremely powerful Federal Republic of Yugoslavia was destroyed by Deep Blue. But what if he added a metal storm? While Ruoshue was still thinking about these things, Boji had already introduced the purpose of their trip from the residences of those top masters to the flying stone controlled by the bat spirit that loves darkness. Wei Daojiang was also very regretful at this time. How could there be ordinary people in the VIP room? It was all his fault for being negligent and acting rashly without thorough investigation. If the boss hadn't come to stop him, the situation would have been even more out of control. Xiongyu, who was watching from the side, was shocked and jumped towards Haij in the immortal transformation pool. But before he could get close, he saw that Haij, who was only half of his body, suddenly burst into a ball of red light, which wrapped Hyde tightly. Our boss said he wanted to meet you and discuss the acquisition, Jack said apologetically. Jack didn't want to disturb him, but Blizzard's boss insisted on meeting him, so he called Chen Jiming. Ling Huzi saw an unprecedented determination in Mo Lin's eyes. She let go of her hand in a daze, allowing Mo Lin to walk around her and walk towards Xiao Guiyang. Seeing this, Zilong rushed over. How are you? Chu Ying is just a form now and has no real body at all. Zilong cannot detect his condition. Life source liquid will definitely be of no use. When he walked to the lobby on the first floor of Asia United Bank, Zhuge Yang saw outside the floor-to-ceiling window that a long line of cars slowly stopped in front of the building. Especially after turning off the lights at night, I always felt like there was a pair of eyes watching me. I also asked Qin Yao if he had any bad premonitions. Qin Yao also said that it seemed that something terrible was about to happen, but he didn't know what kind of terrible thing it was. Mo Lin was stunned for a moment, then suddenly burst into laughter. He laughed so hard that he almost died. This is obviously blocking his retreat. Does Long Ling really have the confidence to defeat Bai Zhanqian? Oh! She was tied to a chair like this and still managed to sleep. Tang Jian couldn't help but start to admire this Korean princess. The art of spiritualism. Jiang Huo formed a seal with one hand, and a huge statue of Pluto appeared behind him, blocking the black claw. Brother, do we have any other way to catch the evil ghost? Zhao Haipeng asked tentatively. Tang Jian nodded towards Qian Aiden. For those engaged in technical science, strength is the most important thing. It seems that the technology Qian Aiden has used in the past 2 years has already impressed these two arrogant overseas engineers. Long Ling was horrified, and used both hands to tightly protect his chest, but a strong energy also came from his back. Long Ling knew that the speed of this black-robed strong man was beyond his reaction ability, and his whole body was exposed in front of him. He would not be able to escape his attack at all. What are you all doing? Don't you have to work today? Lin Cheng shouted, and suddenly everyone dispersed. As they dispersed, Mu Rong, who was surrounded in the middle, was revealed. How do you know that Li Yi is a shield for those troublemakers? Sun Shangxiang was a little surprised. How did Brother Jingfang figured it out after the matter was just mentioned? Chapter 27 I was completely heartless in my previous life, and I will be your mother in this life. Ji Xingrui had killed both the wild boar and the wolf. The village chief asked him what he thought and he just shared them among everyone. When everyone heard this, they were very happy. Because the prey was hunted by Ji Xingrui and Lin Jinyao, the village chief gave them a bigger portion. Lin Jinyao found it hard to accept wolf meat, so she simply didn't order it. She only asked for pork ribs and some lard. The village chief waved his hand and gave Lin Jinyao 6 pounds of pork ribs and 2 pounds of lard. Ji Xingrui got 5 kilograms of wolf meat, 5 kilograms of pork belly, 2 pig's trotters, and a pig's head. No one has any objection to this. Only one person. These wolves and wild boars were all carried down by everyone. I gave Ji Xingrui so much. Although he thought that the Osmondus was not worth 800,000 yuan, it was still worth 500,000 or 600,000 yuan. If he really met someone who liked the Osmondus, he might not be unable to sell it for 800,000 yuan. Liu Junwei bought the Osmondus for 800,000 yuan, which was too risky and not worth it. The man was wearing a white suit. Although he was sitting, he was very tall, probably close to 3 meters. On Earth, this height would definitely make him a monster. Just at this time, Li Zhonghe's cell phone rang. When he looked at the caller ID, it turned out to be the number of the Provincial Party Committee Organization Department. She was with Yunxian Opera just now. The person who spoke was Jessica, and her tone was indifferent and it was impossible to tell what her mood was at the moment. There were American military planes watching in the air, but Lin Yan still ordered the car to pull over. The people coming over were indeed his own people. He asked them to stop, then got out of the car and walked over. The two had just fallen into silence when they heard a strange voice coming from the other end of the sofa. And the material of this giant sword. Is this the legendary source ingot? The chief technician's voice suddenly rose, his eyes widened in disbelief, and he turned his head to discuss and confirm with the prophet Valental beside him. When he returned to the classroom, Fang Yichen didn't want to affect others, but as soon as he sat on Wang Yichen, he still attracted almost everyone's attention. Some people kept looking towards the door, and whispered about why Lu Shasha hadn't come back yet and what their relationship was. Then, he picked up the black hair that had been blown dry with one hand. He Minute had not cut his hair in the past 6 months. Now his hair was long and flowing, and he would simply tie it into a ponytail on weekdays. At least within 4 years, even if I cannot comprehend the supernatural powers, no one will doubt me. Lu Fei opened it and took a look, then nodded with satisfaction. She was a smart person and immediately understood the reason why Wang Qian and Liu Lingshuang chose this gift. Similarly, how strong could a 6-legged monster be that could fight against such monsters and defeat them? When we go out to eat together as a family, there is no need to let such things affect our mood. Since he wants to report it, then let him go. As long as he has made a contribution, it's fine. Pushing his internal strength to the extreme, Song Qian once again launched a fierce attack, suppressing Lu Chen. Su Qiubai had never thought about what would happen after the earth was occupied. Nothing seemed to be wrong, but she felt an indescribable feeling in her heart that made her feel powerless. Your Majesty. Sun Biao felt a little disappointed when he saw Li Zichen's calm expression. Could it be that the emperor knew that the indigenous people of America were of the yellow race? In fact, many people had this idea during this period. For example, many elites from the royal family of the Yunzong Empire quietly withdrew and prepared for the worst. Can you listen to me carefully now? Yang Chengkai ran his long finger across his forehead, dropped it on the table, and tapped it twice casually. Madam Green smiled and said, "If someone bullies you, just tell me my name, Madam Green of the 30,000-mile Green River. People in the 4 regions will more or less give me some respect." To be continued. I'll help you refine a storage bag and belt that can hold the dark iron magnets. When you fill them with enough, how about you come with me? Our Huang said as he took out some earth essence materials and got to work right away.